Happy Sunday, one and all, from us all here at Racing Post Live. Ding ding, round 2, Dublin Festival. What a day we had yesterday. A four-timer for Willie Mullins. Grade 1 action all over the place. The narratives for Cheltenham, we're really warming up now, aren't we? We will be giving you all the news and views on today's stellar card. Again, another 3 Grade 1s for you. Delighted to say, back up at Musselburgh, ding ding, round 2 for them as well. On Cheltenham Trials weekend, they survived the inspection. 10 races for you on the Racing Post front page. Happy days. More, please. More of the same. That's what we want. Myself, Dave Alton, delighted to be back with you after 2. We're in a great mood here in the studio. Let's hope we can convey that to you, get some winners on the board and have a fun afternoon. All the real-time reaction. Do, if you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. Great to have you along if you're watching Facebook Live as well. Anything on Twitter, hashtag RP Live. Well, we haven't got long until the first, 1:10 at Leopardstown, so let's go down the panel. Tony Ennis joins us, top course commentator.
Hi Dave, you right?
Lingers yesterday for you, but you would have been watching on.
Yeah, I was at Lingfield. Good to see Bangkok back in winning action there, by the way, in the Winter Derby trial. But yeah, I was keeping an eye on the jumps. I mean, 4 stellar performances yesterday, weren't there? Honeysuckle, Energumene, Kilcruit, Chacun Pour Soi, all 4 looked the absolute business, I thought, yesterday.
Potential for Cheltenham Festival winners. Get into that. Keep your social media comments coming in for Charlie Post, back in for a double header.
Yeah, great to be back again,
You
Dave.
can take it easy a bit today, Posty, can't you?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm delighted not to have that laptop in front of me with Barry telling me to slow down on the trades, my fat fingers, and then speed up at moments. I was pressured.
He was giving out some yesterday, wasn't he?
I couldn't win.
But listen, when the man's in the great form that he was, Barry, you're back. Betfair's Barry Orr joins us again. 6 winners on the board yesterday, Barry. Injured Jockey Fund had a great day. We saw a lovely appreciation tweet from them as well. More of the same.
That'd be great, wouldn't it? A blind squirrel and all that, Dave, as you know. But yeah, we managed to get lucky. We managed to get lucky yesterday, but fingers crossed that might run through into day 2 of the Dublin Racing Festival and a good card up in Musselburgh.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Nichols has got some big guns up there as well. We're delighted to say that Third Time Lucky runs in our last race up there. The man that was responsible for shaping his career is with us in the studio. Is this the nap of the day?
For me, of course it is. Yeah, I mean, we shaped his career by managing to get him beaten a point to point, which was a good effort. So
shrewd move, that.
Yeah, very much so. Well, it meant it was a lot cheaper for the Skeltons to buy him. So, but look, he's a really exciting prospect, and look, for what we do, you want to see the graduates go on and become graded performers, and he's getting up to that level now, isn't he?
Yeah, great advert for pointing out there. Okay, so look, all coming in. Let's get the first race on the screen. It's a Mayor's Handicap. It's wide open. The 1:10 at Leopardstown. Some old faces here. Wow, what are they betting, Barry? Who's the fav?
Yeah, it's really tight at the moment. 5.9 or 6.0. So 5-1 chance Dysart Diamond. Lady Breffney's currently 8.8. 9.4 Miss Milner. Tell Me Something Girl is 9. 14 Rescue Package. I was fancying Tell Me Something Girl for Connections, Honeysuckle Connections actually. And I think she could go well. She's won 3 times between June and September, and she finished 3rd in a good listed hurl in Galway when thrown in against the boys. She's a filly. Obviously, she's had a bit of a break since her last win over 2.5 miles in the Stow, where she went out and made all that day. Probably did what was expected, really. And she's off, I think, a mark of 1:28 today. So could still be a very workable mark. This is a very difficult race, it has to be said. But I'm just going to do a dead simple win and place, just standard 4 places here. So we're going to have 25 quid on Tell Me Something Girl in the win. And then we're also going to just go to the standard place market and have £25 on her in the place market. Happy to be a price taker here. Like I say, wide open contest, but obviously the stable's in good form. Rachel Blackmore riding out of her skin, and Kelly Alexander seems to buy these mares very, very shrewdly indeed.
Yes, indeed he does. Honeysuckle yesterday. Wow. Career best. Does she win the Champion Hurdle? Get your social media comments in. You've got time to, of course, react to what Barry's doing. A reminder that Barry showcases the exchange for you on each and every race. Safe gambling is what we associate here with on the show. Don't have to play in every race, but do join us along. It's going to be loads of fun. And more importantly, we will give you that real-time reaction during the race and the analysis. We'll be giving you the quotes from the track, hopefully as soon as they come in as well. Any post, anti-post moves, you've got it right here. We're going to have a lot of fun again, no doubt. I'm delighted that you're here. commentating.
There's a
today,
lot of
I
runners.
have
I was
to
having
say.
a look at how many runners have got a call today. 20 in the first to start off with.
Yeah, it's a doddle for you, though, isn't
Well,
it? Do you know
yeah.
what? Yesterday, when I told Barry that you were coming back in, he said he's a great course commentator.
Oh, Barry, you're very kind.
That's probably the
Good
first
judge as well.
and
That Barry,
only
isn't he?
time it's ever been ushered. But it is, it's a pleasure to have you in here. I actually, in the run yesterday at Sandown, I got so excited. I called Dickie Johnson Ricky.
I've never heard that before.
Why has no one done it
Amazing.
before?
I think it should stick. As in, I
Exactly.
honestly think from now on the show he should be Ricky Johnson. I think it suits him better.
He always looks a little bit worried whenever he sees me about what's coming, actually. So now I'm going to have to call him Ricky. But that's the sort of fun we have here on the show. It's been great. Barry was on great form. Tell me something, girl, for Barry in the first. One of the fancied runners, isn't it? Dysart Diamond,
Yeah.
the other one.
Six Willie Mullins in the first, 3 Gordon Elliott. So they've nearly got half the field between them.
Elliot had 12 horses beaten yesterday, didn't he? In contrast to
Hmm.
Willie Mullins. Again, what do you think? The reason why Willie Mullins is so good, he keeps these horses on song all throughout the year, doesn't he?
Did he
It's
say on Thursday that
unbelievable.
his horses, he really targets this festival, doesn't he? I mean, he said, my
Lots
horses...
been said about that over the years, but
Yeah.
it's worth a lot of money. The bumpers, for example, worth more than they are at the actual Cheltenham
Was there
Festival.
not a stat that there's been something like 48 races at the Dublin Festival and he's won 14 or 15 of them
I
since
think
it's
that's
yeah,
now
come
added
in.
up, isn't it? But yeah, exactly. Okay, we've got a social media comment coming in right at the top of the screen. Who's opening it up? Okay, Pedrak O'Doubleshane. Have I got that right? Getaway Gorgeous to bounce back. Another Mullins horse. Yeah, I did. Do you know what? She's been sort of on my radar. She could have run in the 350 yesterday, couldn't she? Won by Drop the Anchor, the big Ladbroke race. Coming in is interesting. Brian Hayes, good rider as well. She wears one of those hoods. You know, if you've been watching this show, we've been talking about the different, disparities about the headgear. There's a couple of very famous horses running in hoods today. So I think she will be up there, and this is obviously a slightly easier task for her. Got something to find. Who is the Enzo?
I agree with Barry that Tell Me Something Girl is the one I like here as well. The honeysuckle connections, as Barry was saying. I mean, she's a point-to-point winner. She's won 3 of her 4 starts this season. Handicap debut today.
You know that he's a Man United supporter, don't you? He just goes for glory.
After
So
last
Barry's
night,
had a
it was
great
not
day. He's hoping a little bit of the shine rubs off on him, isn't it?
It's probably a shrewd move, isn't it?
Has anyone seen Enzo's selections before we've gone live? Are you
Rob-
just going to
Rob's
jump
seen
on?
them.
You would do that, wouldn't you?
No, I think Tell Me Something Girl's going to run well here. Yes, obviously stable in good form, handicap debut. I think, I'm not sure that Dice at Diamond is that bomb-proof, and I wouldn't be surprised if she drifted a bit from that 6.0.
Posty.
Beatable.
Mrs. Milner for me. I like the Dandy Mag form actually is going to be in play a lot more later on now
Yes,
in the
it
big
is.
handicap hurdle. And on the blind side, again, another good run at Cheltenham over 3 mile. She's a 2 mile winner at Galway during the summer, and the drop back down in trip, I think, is a positive.
Mrs. Milner for me as well. Horse that's been over to Cheltenham, she'll do for me. Still got a little bit. 129, 11-1. Love it. Let's get some more socials on the screen. Happy Sunday to Jake Brunan out there who says, Mrs. Milner. Yes, indeed. What else have we got there, Jake? Also, Tom Barras says, heaven help us, not without a chance here. Each way play for me. Heaven help us. I've got to go right down. Yeah, Paul Hennessy trains this, doesn't he? Interesting colours. This first time cheek piece is on. Needs to bounce back. But listen, don't be afraid of taking a price in a race like this. Good luck with that selection. Lovely to start with thick and fast social media comments. So it's a 2-way split for the panel then, isn't it?
Yep. 2 Mrs. Milners and 2 Tell Me Something Girls.
Tell me something, girls. We'll have a bit of time in between the first and the next race at Leopardstown to go through any questions you've got. And we'll get some of the fallout from yesterday as well. We'll see what ends made of not just the Leopardstown runners, but Sandown as well. We went up to Musselburgh as well, didn't we? It's going to be tough work again at Musselburgh, isn't it? Third time lucky, going to be all right on that ground.
I think he'll be okay. I mean, look, he's quite a free goer, and he probably wouldn't want it any slower than what it's going to be. I mean, the heavy ground at Cheltenham didn't catch him out, but it wouldn't have been ideal when he got beaten the Grade 2 there. So I think Musselburgh soft ground will be all right for him.
Really good card up there. We've got a couple of decent handicaps. We've got the Triumph Trial with Supreme Trial. The third time lucky runs in. How's third time lucky going to go? Let us know. They are getting ready, jostling for position at the start. Barry, let's get a final market update then. Any springers? Rescue package looks like it's coming in for a bit of money.
Yeah, a few quid for rescue package, 11.5 now, Dave. Your favourite steady away around the 6.8 mark. 8.8 Lady Breffney, Lady Milner 10.5, 8.6 Tell Me Something Girl. And it's Global Equities. Money for that. Joseph O'Brien's horse with JJ Slevin in the plate. He's into 12-1 now.
He had a 1-2, didn't he, of course, in a big handicap chase yesterday. Joseph O'Brien coming back to form, it looks like, in a big way. This horse he's not won over hurdles yet, but it's been keeping some pretty good company, hasn't it? So pieces on for that one could just sharpen it up. So looks like a fair old day at Dublin from what I could see in the corner of my eye. I've had the rain overnight, Barry. It looks like soft to heavy now.
No, it's been really dry, Dave, and it's been a dry morning as well. A wind that will cut through you. Wind chill must be around. It must be minus 1 or 2 at the moment.
Happy days.
Just
All
looking
right.
on, is there a bit of fresh ground on the inside rail there? Just looking at the...
They would have definitely moved around for fresh ground. It does look like it, doesn't it? So we'll see if hugging the rail is the place to be. Not, you can often get chopped up there at Leopardstown, can't they? So good luck wherever you've played in the first. They're trying to get a run. Oh, it was Rachel Blackmore was bang up there, wasn't she? On Tell Me Something Girl. 140 Dale for that one, but she's obviously fit and roaring to go because she wanted to lead there. They're going to have to take another turn.
What's that from, Dave? Tell Me Something Girl.
I know it's a song. But it's Tell Me Something Girl. I don't know. Who'd have ever thought I'd have done that in front of a camera? I've got no idea, Barry.
You're going to have to give us something a bit more than that,
Tell
Dave.
me something. Come on, Barry. You obviously know.
Star is Born.
A Star is Born. A Star is Born, of course.
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga. There we
Oh,
go.
we're
Okay.
off.
Well, we're all Gaga for the first race at Leopardstown because they are off. Who's that in front, Enzo?
That's Razzle Dazzle Love in front, Dave, in the yellow colours, leading up on the inside of Tintangle, one of the Gordon Elliott runners. Let's see if they get over the first. Yeah, they've all got over flight number 1, all right. And that was the first of 9, I make it. They jump over this at 2.25 miles. They'll now turn towards the home straight, and then have one flight in the home straight, then the 2 just past the winning line. And it is Razzle Dazzle Love, Dara O'Keefe, taking them along by a length. Very prominent in second place is Global Equity, who's right up there in cheek pieces as well. I can see John Turner's colours, Heaven Help Us, handy as well, just off them, racing about 3rd place. So they go towards, where are the big guns? Let's have a look. Lady Breffney's back on the inside, about 7th in dark green. Mrs. Milner is about mid-pack as well, I can see, the horse that ran at Cheltenham.
Going well.
And the favourite...
tracking her.
Yeah, just in behind. As they took that hurdle, that will be the last next time around then. So up front, it's still Razzle Dazzle Love in front. Early days from Heaven Help Us, who's racing up in second. A gap to Global Equity in third. Tintangle, I think, is in 4th place. One of the Gordon Elliott runners. There's a gap then to Ushka Solus, I think it is, back on the inside of Mrs. Milner. And then further back in the field to find the Getaway Star. At this stage, Lady Breffney's right up on the inside. Getaway Gorgeous is next. Ruler Booler, I think that's pronounced, the 5-horse. Mikey Fogarty. Red Cat back on the inside, further back with Rescue Package. I can see Felicidad's towards the rear. Botany as well is in that rear group. Another one of the greys further back as they take that hurdle. That is the other grey. Must be Rescue Package back in the field as well with Daylight Katie. Looking for Tell Me Something Girl. Just towards the rear of mid-pack, I think, at this stage.
3/4 of the way back, sort of down the middle, I think it was.
That's Global Equity in 3rd.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's about mid-pack, Rachel Blackmore, at this stage on the well fancy Tell Me Something Girl. Any change in the markets or not much happening?
Not much happening, really. Tell Me Something Girl, 8.8. Global Equity is the shortener at this stage at 8.0. 7.6 Razzle Dazzle Love, just the market reacting to that one getting off in front.
Yeah, that's interesting. Posty, let's come to you at this point then. So, this is turning into freebie. Lads,
yeah, as in I was going to say, it doesn't look watching on like they've gone crazy fast, and it looks like Dara O'Keefe has had a bit of a freebie on the front end, and it'll be interesting to see if that's going to be a factor later on.
Yeah, okay. Aplutard fame, Dara O'Keefe, of course, and going back left-handed. I don't know. I wouldn't want to be giving this too much rope, really. Looking for. I tell you what, that Getaway Gorgeous is going well out there for you, Pedro.
Oh, Mrs. Milner.
Oh, Mrs. Milner's gone. Huge day for Paul Nolan. Started in terrible fashion.
Brought down Bon Retour.
Both up very quickly on their feet, thank goodness. Sean O'Keefe looks fine. But Mrs. Milner, a big gun, gone.
Yeah, one of the big guns out of the race there. That was flight number 5 at the 6th, jumping in front. Still this Razzle Dazzle Love, a bumper winner at Galway, leading up by a few lengths. Heaven Help Us is in 2nd place.
Where's
in
Dysart
3rd, Global
Diamond?
Equity. Dysart Diamond is back in about 12th place. And there's Mrs. Milner. Jockey's still down. Hope he's all right there. That's Sean O'Keefe, isn't it? Looking towards the back, in rear still Rescue Package. The grey is right towards the back of the field. Ushka Solus is in about 5th place with Tintangle. Getaway Gorgeous is there towards the outside, and then comes Botany over that flight. Still towards the rear of the field, we have Felicidad, I can see right at the back of the field. Daylight Love's back on the inside in mid-pack at this stage with Ruler Booler trying to get a bit closer, wider. They're just clustering up a bit now, aren't they? Razzle Dazzle Love still leading. Bit closer though in second now, this Heaven Help Us.
The Fav's going beautifully on the inside, but it's just whether it gets home this one, Barry, isn't it?
Diamond,
So
yeah.
we're coming to 2 out, Barry. What's the movers and shakers?
4.3 Lady Breffney now. That's your favourite in running. 7 Dysart Diamond. 7.6 Tell Me Something Girl, who still seems to travel well.
Yeah, okay, and Getaway Gorgeous, not done with at all. I think she will run on strongly. Tell Me Something Girl.
Tintangle's
Tintangle's gone. and hampered one or
Tintangle's
two
gone
others. Quite badly hampered there as rescue package by the
Rula
Fawler.
Boola's the one, isn't it?
But I tell you what, in front is Paul Hennessey's horse, Heaven Help Us.
Whoa!
Man who's trained the Greyhound Derby winner, Paul Hennessey. Leads here to in second place, Razzle Dazzle Love. Back in third, Global Where are the big guns? Lady
Tell me
Breffney's
something,
coming.
girls. Too
Here's
late,
Lady.
surely.
She's coming,
Please
tell me something, girl. Come on, Rachel Blackmore.
Can
Lot
she
to
get-
do there.
too
Can they
late,
catch
surely?
this Heaven Help Us? I don't think so. Heaven Help Us at the last hurdle is clear by 4 lengths.
Over
Tell me
5.
something, girl, going to third place
Yeah.
behind Global Equity.
Global
up front.
Equity's coming.
Global Equity trying to run on now at Heaven Help Us. Heaven Help Us, though, holding
going
on
then.
to Global Equity. Should hold on this
Oh!
Daughtry Yates. Heaven Help Us, Global Equity. Heaven Help Us. Well done to Paul Hennessey. He can train horses as well as greyhounds, this man, and beats into second place the running on Global Equity, and they're ahead of Tell Me Something Girl in behind.
A dramatic opener at Leopardstown, 1 dent. Great social media comment we had coming in about Heaven Help Us. Take it to bounce back. First time cheap pieces. Richard Condon claiming 7. Whoosh! Right around the home turn. Catch me if you can. It proved to be a winning move. Posty, if you're on a horse like that and you come into the last, you can see it's emptying a bit. I'm not going Cooper Square again here with you, but but it does happen to the best of us, doesn't it? He got it just right, I guess.
Look, I mean, he was in two minds, wasn't he, about whether to let the horse pop, and he has let it run down the hurdle. Like all these things, it can be a dangerous game, as I found to my peril with Cooper Square, as you like to keep bringing
Look
up,
it
Dave.
up. If you're not seeing it in your members section,
I was
look
told
it
I was
up.
told not to mention that today.
One of the
strictly
worst
briefed.
rides of all time. But anyway, we'll get over it now. So yeah, I mean, Richie Condon has let him go and pop the last, pop the last, and it can be a high risk move because when you got closers and the petrol is running empty, like he just kind of drops the revs a little bit and she gets into the bottom of it. But fortunately, had enough in reserve to hold off the fast finishing Global Equity.
Had been keeping some exalted company, hadn't it? Of course,
Monkfish, yeah.
I mean, tailed off behind Monkfish at 66 to 1 last time at the Christmas meeting. Monkfish was seeing out later. Ding ding, latest exhibition. Big eye catcher, I think, in third, considering it was set
Give it a bit to do.
enough to do, wasn't it, by Rachel
Yeah.
Blackman?
Did
An
they give the
awful lot
front?
to do.
They give the front two a bit too
Considering
much rope, didn't they? I
Definitely,
think.
yeah.
Yeah, considering she won over 2.5 miles last day, she didn't seem to make much use of her, Rachel, on the Tell Me Something Girl.
Yeah, I think they were.
Like she's dropping back to 2 mile 2 today. I thought she might have been closer to the pace.
And the money for Global Equity, Barry, was nearly well spent, wasn't it? You know, there is a handicap in that girl, I think.
Traded at a low of 1.60 for 255 quid, Dave. So 6 to 4 on for 255 quid. The winner, there was plenty of money for the winner as well, was matched at a high of around the 40 mark all the way down, a BSP of 19.
Yeah, okay, so we'll be talking about sort of county hurdle. You'd imagine with the owners, Barry, wouldn't you? They'd be looking at something like the county hurdle for that.
Oh, they want to go to Cheltenham for sure, yeah.
Yeah, Build Me Up Buttercup is one very famous mare in those colours, isn't it? So yeah, listen, we're off and running. And again, didn't want to be too far off the pace at Leopardstown over hurdles, as we saw in the Irish Champion Hurdle yesterday. Congratulations if you took heed of our social media comment. I'll just remind who that was from, actually, Rob, if you don't mind, because we'll give him a big shout out. 20-1 winner, just Tom Barras, of course, Thomas Barras. Radar on target. Happy days. Sizzling Sunday we have for you then here, and it started in great fashion. Thick and fast, 10 races as they come. We'll try and get the race times for you from the first. They did look like that little bit of fresh ground, didn't they? Dramatic opener.
Few
What's
fallers,
the
weren't there?
highlight of the day? What is the if you had to one horse that you're looking forward to watching today, Ends?
Appreciate it, I think. Appreciate it, Monkfish. Those two are the two I'm looking forward to. Both favourites for their respective races at Cheltenham.
Both short. Have you done the double?
I think it's a possible, isn't it? I haven't, but I think that could be the way
It's
to
an
go.
Enzo
couldn't it?
bet, that. It's a
I think they both look pretty solid, don't they? I think after yesterday with the yard flying along, I can't really see him beaten. To be
Big
honest.
Dave Gordon Elliott, isn't it? Of course, our next race is Spring Juvenile Hurdle Posty. 12
Yeah.
horses beaten yesterday.
3 in that, never really sighted. He had a Ford, a Tintangle.
Yeah.
Daylight Katie never in it, and the other
Not
horse
really
was at the
fancied
back.
though, were they?
They
So
weren't
that-
really, but they didn't.
And
show
yesterday
anything.
there wasn't really any major like
Abracadabras ran well, didn't he?
But I mean, like there weren't any like big guns
No.
that got beaten. I mean, it was kind of a day that Willie Mullins on paper
Quilixios is a big
like,
horse from today, isn't it?
massively. Yeah.
In the
It
next.
has to run well.
and,
Does it
and,
win?
And
Possibly, but I'm worried about stable form. as everybody
Possibly?
is.
And
I've
Delta
tipped
Work.
it,
I
but
mean,
I'm
Delta
worried about
Work.
stable form.
Delta
Works,
Work.
loves Leopardstown. I mean,
Won the race last year at the Irish Gold Cup. That will be our final race for you at 3:41 horse today, apart from third time lucky, of course.
yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Manila Indo and Delta Work. Both of them had unfortunate mishaps last time out at the same track, and then seeing if they can bounce back as add more spice to the Gold Cup market.
Yeah, Barry, what's the one horse today you're really looking forward to watching?
Quilios, the 4-year-old.
Ooh, in the next
I think
race.
he's Proper racehorse. Yeah, Dave, it might be worth flagging. There was a lot of Trixies and Paytons on 3 horses today. 2 of them in Musselburgh and 1 in Suddle. Just so people know.
Far away.
You know, there seem to be big liabilities with all the firms. Everyone's crying about it at the moment until the first either wins or gets beat. There's a lot of tears being shed.
Yeah, that's interesting though, Barry, isn't it? Because this is one of those cases, isn't it, where the exchange really tells the story, isn't it? You know, the course books, you know, normally would be ducking for cover, all the big firms, but the Betfair exchange tells the tale, doesn't it?
Yeah, most definitely. Now, these were evening prices that went up last night, and they were taken in the early evening around 9 o'clock. The traders reported start seeing trebles and Trixies and Paytons on these 3 horses. But the first leg of it is in the first race here in Musselburgh, the 125 far away. Gallagher's Cross in the last race in Musselburgh at 425, and then 1 in Suddle called the horse in Suddle. Just let me dig it out now. It's an Ian Jardine runner. It's called Blowing Dixie in the 235, but it was like 20 to 1, 33 to 1, and 10 to 1. So it's not going to. Might have got a whole lot of money on, but it wouldn't take a whole lot of money at those prices for a significant dividend. So be interesting to see. I'm sure all the punters are going to be cheering them on. So
it's a lovely added narrative, isn't it? And I was saying to you, Posty, when I came in, you know, I said if traders are going to make ricks, which is what we call a mistake traditionally, it's on when there's so much racing going on. On a Monday, this is sort of thing you might conservatively price up a little bit. But Laura Morgan, who trains the first one, would be a trainer that you might think might be able to improve horses. She's been showing a bit of that. So we've got a nice little narrative going on, haven't we?
Yeah, Gallows Cross, as I remember, was an expensive Gresham Parkin purchase back in the day for Nicky Henderson.
Yeah, didn't make the grade, did it?
Yeah.
It's there, isn't it? And Blowing Dixie, the aforementioned horse at Southwell, goes on the surface. So I know what they're doing a little bit out there. So we'll keep tabs on that as we're going. We'll keep tabs on all your comments as well. Keep them coming in. This is Racing Post Live. Having a great weekend. And let's talk about yesterday a little bit then. The viewers would have heard myself and Posty say that we think Honeysuckle will go off favourite for the Champion Hurdle. Obviously, there was Native River at Sandown. We'll get to Sandown in a minute. But she was superb, wasn't
she was impressive. I mean, everything is good about her, isn't it? The way she jumps, the way she travels, she stays a bit further as well.
Does she beat Epatante?
I think so. I think she can. I think if it came to a battle between the two, I think you'd rather have Honeysuckle on your side. I think in terms of that toughness, I think she has that.
You're a man that tells it how it is. Let's not make any bones about that.
I'm just not sure about Epatante. I mean, she was absolutely wiped the floor with by Silver Streak at Kempton. I mean, that form, that's nowhere near what Honeysuckle did yesterday, is it?
But she did turn up last year and blew them away in the Champion Hurdle.
She did, but didn't look a great race. I think Honeysuckle. The mare's hurdle form was very strong last year. I think she's going to win it. I think she'll go favourite about 2 to 1 as well, as you say.
Let's have a reminder, Barry. What is she on the sportsbook? They were 9 to 4 joints. I think when we were just going off air on the sportsbook, we're pretty sure she's going to go off clear, Fav, Barry.
Yeah, the last time I looked, Dave, she was 9 to 4 each of 2. Obviously, going into the race, Epatante had been 2 to 1 clear favourite, and Honeysuckle was a 6 to 1 chance. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Oh, my laptop's playing up on me. I don't think you'd be going far wrong. 9 to 4 each of 2.
I'm going to try and look back at the Racing Post ratings for you as well. I must admit, I haven't had the time to quite look at them. They should be up, though, for it. So she went into it rated 159, didn't she, basically? And people were like, is she really a superstar? I think even if you think the Sharjah's run a little bit flat, definitely, I mean, a Racing Post rating 163 we've given her. That's still fairly conservative.
Yeah, I think she's probably worth more than that, isn't she? I mean, on that performance, I mean, the way she...
You have to say that Abacadabras has run very close to his mark of 158, I think. And we now know how good he is.
Yeah. She's so versatile, though. She can make the running if you want. You can just drop her in if you want. She just looks like she's got no complications.
And she's one of that... She was the sort of horse that's never going to put up a huge figure.
We've rated Sharjah as being well below form, actually, so not just a little bit flat. What did you make of it? Does she win the Champion Hurdle? Chacun Pour Soi.
Oh, he looked good, didn't he, yesterday?
Paul Townend's comments afterwards, if you read them in the paper, the great comments that David Jennings and Richie Forrester have been getting for us at Leopardstown this weekend. That I don't think I've ever heard him quite as effusive about horse.
I wasn't sure about him. I was still, on the fence a little bit about him before yesterday. I thought he was a good horse, but I wanted to see something.
Put 3 runs together.
And now he's done it. He's jumped so well, travels. I mean, the race was set up perfectly with the strong
They went
pace.
hammer and tongs, didn't they?
Yeah, he jumped brilliant though as well, didn't he? Like long, short, scope, and then the way he just came in between the middle of them and went away from some good
Monkfish jumped
horses.
a bit like that, didn't he? But, the great thing about when you're watching Leopardstown is the 3 and 4 out and the second last. You get such a good view of them.
You can see coming down the hill, Politologa being in front of him, but you can see Townend just having so much horse under him
Yeah.
around that home turn. I think he'll go past
I
Politolog.
think it's shaping up to be a really exciting race when you got the newbie Negra into the mix, and Politolog, if Altior does turn up there, and I mean, which is a big if at the moment, but there's a lot of interesting angles in that race. But I think Chacun Pour Soi looks banker material to me.
Yeah, the big freeze coming in Britain next week, Barry. But we're hoping that by Saturday, Super Saturday, as we're calling it, a Betfair hurdle, of course. We've got the Game Spirit, haven't we? And the Denman Chase as well. Let's talk about Champ coming out. But Chacun Pour Soi, did you say 6-4 on, wasn't he, with the sportsbook after that, I think?
Yeah, he went to 6-4 on. Off the back of that, he was a shade of odds on. He was 4-5 before that win. Big freeze next week, and we've the 5-day decks tomorrow, obviously for the Betfair Hurl and the other entries for the Betfair Denman Chase and the Betfair Game Spirit. Yeah, so a big day tomorrow for us.
Been a few short ones beat them. That Champion Chase. Just going back to that Champion Chase. Last few. Definitely Desoy odds on last year. Stuff Duvan 3 years ago. Well beaten. It's not. It's even though he looks solid, doesn't he? Chacun Pour Soi. It is a race where odds
never
on
been
turn
around
over.
Cheltenham. You know, that's the thing, isn't it?
This to me kind of like it smacks of probably how good he is, because like that's the one thing that people
That's
are
all we
hanging
can
on
do.
to. But
Yeah.
he's also never shown that he can't go around Cheltenham, and you want a solid jumper that travels well around Cheltenham, and he ticks both those boxes.
So if you're riding a horse, Posty, and lots of people are concentrating on the fact that he's got flat track form, if you know that he's a well balanced horse, you don't have any worries about it.
I don't think so. As in, I don't see why that would be a concern. Like, he doesn't look. Watching him run, he doesn't look like an ungainly horse or a horse that hits flat spots. He looks like Poor Townend can, if he wanted to, he can make the run in. He won't make the run in the Champion Chase, but he's got plenty of tactical speed. He looks to be a very solid jumper, and he's getting better in that department, I would say. So I don't see that Poor Townend's going to go into Cheltenham having a concern about the track.
That was Leopardstown yesterday. Of course, Sandown Native River came back and took the Cotswold Chase. Will bid to become the first Levenses Mandarin to win the Gold Cup. Former winner, of course.
Yeah, amazing. Great to see the Tizzards having a few winners this week. They had that winner, didn't they, earlier in the week in the Chivy Park.
It is
colours,
good to
which
see,
is
because it's
good,
painful to watch when they're
a yard that's
not
so good.
firing.
So many talented horses there, and obviously they had that very sad family loss, didn't they, last year, and it's obviously taken them a while to get back to anything like their normal ways, but they've got so many good horses there, and it's great to see that horse win. It was an amazing race, wasn't it? Because I thought they went pretty quick, didn't they, the early part of the race. Yala Enki doesn't hang about, does he? No. Bristol de Mai couldn't get to the front. Because
That's
they were
what
going
made
so quick.
Natives River more impressive, Posty, wasn't it? Because he was duelling with him for quite some time.
Without doubt. I mean, it is fabulous for the sport to have these sort of older horses that keep coming back and retain their enthusiasm. And like he kind of he leaves it all out there, Native River, doesn't he? He does it the hard way, jumps brilliant.
He's made for Ricky
Dickie
Johnson, isn't he?
Ricky,
He's made for Ricky.
Ricky and Native
Ricky.
River partnership made in heaven.
Ricky. Of course, we had the Scilly Isles, the Grade 1 Scilly Isles, before we move on. And look what's coming yet today. You were a bit disappointed with Shamblu, who got beaten by Sporting John.
Oh no, Sporting John, where's that run come from? But obviously Shamblu sort of set the race up for him a bit, didn't he? Jumps well, Shamblu, didn't he? But I think the ground was so bad there, wasn't it?
What do you do with Sporting John now? Just keep him in one piece and...
He got 1,000 in running ends of Sporting
1,000?
John. Well, he would have if your host there had been on Betfair.
It's begun, isn't it? Unbelievable. 6 winners yesterday, and he's not stopped giving out since, I tell you.
Sporting John will surely go for the Marsh now. Only the two.
He's got to go for the Marsh, I think. You have to remember, he was well fancied behind Envoy Allen, wasn't he, last time? So
Just throw
they've
the
got
old
a bit of
stickler,
business.
doesn't he? That's the thing about him.
He's going to be one of those horses that people are a little bit worried about. But Philip Hobbs, the way he's got these horses back up and running, Dacia Alba, of course, was his double yesterday. The horses that look like they've lost the plot.
Yeah.
Master trainer.
And we definitely saw as well. You know, as in there was a period of time where he went missing and came back. I
Completely
mean, I know
gone.
he's gone missing again, but
Yeah.
but again, Sporting John. Surely Richard Johnson arriving the same in the Marsh. Follow them round and try and pick up the pieces and see how it plays out. I mean, it was a very, very good ride by him.
Yeah, I'm just looking. I'm going to have a quick look for the quotes from
Santini with some blinkers for the Gold Cup.
Oh man,
What
come
did he do with
on.
Santini? I mean, that was his race, wasn't it? If he was going to
That's
bounce
it
back
now,
yesterday.
surely, isn't it?
I want to see the blinkers on.
You know, beautiful, beautiful specimen of a horse, Santini. Something not quite right up there. We all know how he feels. Okay, so that was the fallout. That was the fallout from yesterday. Sporting John, could he have a say against Envoy Allen? We're running short on opposition, aren't we? Shamblu, that was his trial for it. I thought he just ran his race personally. Sporting John yesterday, we gave him a race post racing a 161, just to let you know. And I'm looking for a quick quote for him. Oh gosh, you're pointing at the screen, because what we can see,
gambled on.
We can see
first leg is travelling very, very strongly.
He's absolutely.
Looks like there's a multi on the move. Looks like there's a multi
This might be well handicapped this far away, perhaps.
Oh, Richie McClernand's not moved, has he? So it looks like the first leg's going in, all barring accidents. Going back to Sporting, John, just while they go for me. Again, he's probably a 3 miler, said Ricky, but. I don't know. I think you'd be surprised if he doesn't go for the Marsh. I think.
Yeah, he would be. I just can't see him being a Cheltenham winner personally.
It depends what happens, I guess, with Monkfish and latest exhibitions, isn't it? Well, let's have a look back at the later races today. As this gamble, just wait till it gets over.
Hold your breath.
1, 2,
Richie
3.
McClernand, job done.
People like, "Oi!" getting excited now. If you've got big tickets about it, then.
Plus, this morning, I mean, it had no form, did it at all?
No,
as far
none
away.
whatsoever.
I mean,
no.
if
Interestingly,
first
it
run
used
for
to be
Laura
trained.
Morgan. Yeah.
Go on.
He used to be trained by the guy in the last leg, Gallagher's Cross, Dara Burke.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the last leg of the treble, and that's an ex-Dara Burke horse. It's trained by Laura Mongan now. So, a little bit of a tie-up there, maybe.
First leg in, let's see if you're going to land a gamble. That's the way to do it, isn't it? Nice and easy. Richie McClernand now. Happy days. So look, we're all excited. We love it. Absolutely happy days.
Big cash out values now.
Listen, what a season we're having. Look, the pandemic is out there, but the vaccination we're hoping will go the right way. I saw that the hospital admissions. I just saw something this morning. Yesterday's figure was lower than 2,000 for the first time since lockdown 3 started. We're going the right way, people. It looks like we might be able to get owners, if we're lucky enough, back into Cheltenham. That would be good, wouldn't it, to light that up a little bit? But it promises to be a great summer if we all keep going the right way. Let's go to the next race then, because promise of these 4-year-old hurdlers lighting up the Triumph market could well happen. It's the spring Juvenile Hurdle, a race that year in, year out has a huge bearing on the Triumph Hurdle. Remember Arcona taking it out in great style a couple of years ago. And, a couple of horses on the recovery trail, and one Gordon Elliott horse that Barry Orr thinks is the real deal.
Yeah, I think this is a proper racehorse, Dave. He's currently 2.12, which I think is a backable price as well about him. I think he's won his 2 combined he's won the 2 races in Down Royal and last day by a combined distance of nearly 30 lengths or 20 odd lengths. Form's not up to much, but he's a serious tool. I think Gordon's biggest worry was keeping him and Zanahiyr apart this year so far. Now, obviously, they'll meet in Cheltenham, but I think at around 208 or 210, he's backable, and we're just going to have 50 quid win on him. Just straightforward. He's a straightforward ride as well. He's just going to go off in front. There's not going to be any complicated things with him here. Just off in front and make the running, and I don't think he'd see another horse.
Okay, thank you very much. Barry Orr doesn't think he'll see another horse. Very interesting. Of course, we've got Zanahiyr form on offer here as well, haven't we? With St. Sam, who's seen the back of him a couple of times. Umdor, the Willie Mullins horse in this race, would look certain to win, I think.
Fell didn't he last time?
He had a bit of a tumble, didn't he? And I watched that fall, and at first I was like, that's not too bad. But they put a hood on him. You know what I think about that? Hooded claw. I'm not sure about that. So it was enough to sway me towards Kixilos.
Yeah, I've gone with Quilixios as well. How are we saying it?
Quilixios, is it? Quilixios.
Quilixios,
It's the first time I've ever heard him question the name of a horse.
Yeah,
It's that tricky.
It is a tricky one. But I mean, Umdor, he's got speed though, isn't he? I saw he looked really good when he won at Goran, didn't he? First time. I thought, he looks a bit of a tool. And then, as you say, question marks about that run last time when he fell.
Yeah.
But he could easily bounce back.
Couldn't
Hood
find
might
a
help
previous
him.
horse
The
in the
Hood,
last 10 years that have won with an F or a U next to
He
it.
can be a bit of a keen goer as well. The hood might just help him a little bit with that, no?
I don't know.
I know you're not a fan of hoods.
Well, I'm not really. And what was the horse that I backed that I was hoping for that I've noticed was running in the shunter yesterday? Sometimes we're fickle, aren't we? So basically, the last couple of years, this is run by a Wave of the Sea, you'll remember. Last year, of course, won over fences. And, horses coming back to the same meeting. Sir Eric before that, the late Sir Eric. Of course, Mr. Adjudicator won it for Willie Mullins. Basically, Willie Mullins has won it 3 times from 14 runners in the last 10 years. Gordon Elliott just once from 13 runners. That was with Mega Fortune a couple of years ago. And Joseph O'Brien's got a good record in this, actually. Of course, as mentioned, he's on the hat trick, isn't he?
Yeah, Bustleton, interesting. Another ex-French horse, isn't he? Was trained by David Cotin over in France, but he ran behind Zanahiyr, didn't he? Triumph hurdle-wise, I think he's about 16 to 1, isn't he, to win the Triumph. Umdor and Quilixios is about 10s
Is this nap of the day then, Barry? Can we say that? We can be confident this is your nap of the day?
Yeah, most definitely.
Right, okay, just keeping it very simple. Who are we with here, Posty?
Yeah, I'm with Quilixios as well.
This is a clean sweep for
worrying,
Quilixios. Whew, okay, all right. Oh, you heard it here. You've got plenty of time to react to that.
206 is going, by the way, I think, Barry, isn't it? That 2.06 is gone.
I should imagine it probably will. And I don't know what's
His odds on now, 199 now.
Oh, okay. The power of Racing Post Live. It's going. They're just looking for the shortest price winner of this. Yeah, 13 to 8.5. That was Sir Eric a couple of years ago. So promising, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So unfortunate what happened with him at Cheltenham. Okay, so big moment this for Gordon Elliott, Jack Kennedy as well, and Cheveley Park as well. Yesterday, of course, we should mention there was a bumper winner that came rather into the proximity, wasn't there?
Oh, Kill Cruitt, yeah. What sort of horse was that? Just cruised to the front, went past a decent horse called Ramesses who'd already won a decent bump around Christmas, and just looked an absolute machine, didn't
In
he?
the appreciated colours.
Yeah. So impressive. I mean,
What do you make of that, Posty?
What, the performance yesterday? I mean, visually it was as good a bumper performance as you're ever likely to see, wasn't it? I mean, he looked like he just jumped in. I mean, like Enzo said, Ramesses had been very impressive the time before. Looked like he'd come to win the race, and then all of a sudden, Kill Cruitt come cruising alongside him and unextended, just put distance between him and everything else. And
Patrick's face, watch back the replay in the
he was
section.
smiling crossing the line.
Yeah, it was beautiful, wasn't it? Bit Cooper Square-esque, wasn't it? When you Posty was smiling 3 out, thinking, I've got it.
Yeah.
Oh,
7 to 4 now. 7 to 4 of the champion
The
bumper.
horse seemingly doesn't take that much work, which is interesting. But he's won the right bumper. And my point in bringing that up was Cheveley Park got Sir Gerhard,
Yeah. Who'd have
who
thought Sir
looked-
Gerhard wouldn't be favourite for the champion bumper? I told you that a few weeks ago.
and we had Enoch Amin, who won yesterday.
Oh, he
He
looked
looks
good,
like
didn't
an
he?
absolute powerhouse. Can he beat Shishkin?
11 to 4 for the Arkle. He could do. I think he's making it interesting. I think
The
without
time
him,
was a sizzler, wasn't it?
yeah, it's making a race. It's going to give Shishkin a bit to think about, isn't it? Otherwise, without him, it would have been a bit of a cakewalk, I think, for Shishkin. But
Willie
now-
Mullins said if you could draw a horse, Posty, this would be the one
Chaser,
you would pick
wasn't
out.
it? It was like
Yeah.
that's how you'd make
Perfectly
him.
made horse.
By Denham Red,
Charlie,
isn't he?
you said he came from the Energumene from the point-to-point
Yeah.
field in the UK. He's by the same sire of Undeso.
That's right.
Obviously,
Yeah.
they've very similar ways of running, and that they go off in front now. He wouldn't be as free going as Undeso, but yeah, similar types most definitely, and bags of talent without a shadow of a doubt.
Without
Bags
doubt. I mean,
of
it's going to
talent,
be tactically interesting, isn't it? I mean, because you'd imagine All Mankind still going to lead them in the Arkle. So, I mean, I think the pleasing thing was Engumene he doesn't look reckless, does he, in his race style? Like, you'd think he'd just be able to follow All Mankind early.
But how exciting, if you think that we're probably not going to have crowds at Cheltenham, the races that now look like they were one-horse races, if you like, one horse to lose, we're now getting some matches, aren't we? To savour.
Exactly.
I mean, the Arkle now looks, and tactically,
Yeah.
wow, what a race.
Don't tell Dan Skelton it's a match race.
Well, no, I'm not suggesting it's a match race. I mean, I just think that market-wise, and now we've got a horse on figures that can maybe give Shishkin a real something to think about. Very, very interesting. And in the bumper as well. Were you on Patrick Mullins yesterday? It was a big fillip that for Patrick as well. Sharjah going down with it. A Min, disappointment for Min, of course. Banking the fence, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Hopefully all being
down.
well. But it's hard to come back from a P at the Cheltenham Festival, isn't it?
Is that statistically right? Yeah. I mean, the only thing I would say about that being it was a P caused by a mid-race jumping error rather than just a disappointing substandard run. No?
P is a P, Posty.
Really? A P is a P.
You should know that. A P is a P. Yeah, it's very difficult. This is being absolutely hammered now, Quilixios. If you're not on already, we're getting
6 now,
we're
is it?
getting to
What's
words.
going on
I can see a bit short on that as well. Let's get some socials up on the screen. What have we got? Coming in, Neil Francis. Great to have you on, Neil. Yoondor in the next. Keeping the faith with Willie Mullins. Okay, let's get, before we answer that one, let's get another one back up. Robert Barrett says, Yoondor. Yes. Could have added a couple more S's there, Robert. Yoondor. So look, he did look the race he saw.
He's got an
didn't
engine
he?
though, isn't he? I watched the
Proper
Ferry House
engine.
fall again just now. I mean, he was going to win that race. wasn't he,
Proper engine
comfortably,
for
and then
the
just
Neil
got it wrong.
family, yeah. Who've been having a lot of success, haven't they?
The worry thing is Quilixios is a front runner, isn't he? He'll go off in front. You imagine Paul Tanner would just be sitting on his tail. Trying to get
Tactically,
him.
that's interesting. Do you think Hardor, another horse that wears a hood, Rachel Blackmore running for Willie Mullins and Rich Ritchie, do you think that might try and bustle them up?
Yeah, she rode him last time as well, didn't she? But it's going to be interesting from a tactical point of view. You'd imagine Willie Mullins is going to use something to not
Maybe
allow
Saint-
Gordon Elliott
maybe
to have
Saint
his
Sam as
own
well,
way.
possibly. Would he try and ride Saint Sam aggressively to try and get Quilixios out of his comfort zone?
Because I would have thought for Yumdor, they're going to want a decent gallop to help him switch off. And like Enzo said, he's a talented flat runner. So I'd have thought something from Willie's yard is going to be sent alongside to not allow Quilixios to have an easy lead.
St. Sam, the pick of Tom Segal, of course, price-wise in the Racing Post today. And he was favourite to beat Zanahiyr, wasn't he? But he came up short with him. And maybe there is still a horse there. But listen, Quilixios, could we be seeing the
way
Hurdle
the way they're
favourite
backing
after
him,
this?
you'd want to nearly be taking the 8 and 10 to 1 about him for the Triumph Hurdle. The way they're backing him in this race, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think so, Barry. Yeah, I mean the Triumph Hurdle, it's warming up into a really nice race. They've got Triptonic.
Gordon
of course,
has the
haven't they?
favourite, so Gordon has the favourite in
Zanahiyr,
and if this wins, like I think that's going to tell you the pecking order in Gordon's.
I wasn't overly impressed by him at Christmas last time. I think it was at Fairy House when he slammed St. Sam that all the clock watchers and that got
Just
very,
did enough,
very
didn't he, last
excited
time?
about
He
it.
looked like he was just always going
Just
to
a
win.
bit of a
but it
grinder,
wasn't-
which is no bad thing, is it, for a Triumph?
He's got quite a workmanlike way about him. But
No bad thing, that
Again, the
Triumph.
Triumph, you want to be staying further than the 2 mile. You know, as in, I think a relaxed race style is not a negative.
It's a
in that
grinding race,
Yeah.
isn't it? They tend to get racing some way out in a Triumph, don't they? Yeah. Okay, all right. So this is exciting. This is the first Grade 1 of the day here on Racing Post Live. Great to have you along. We know you're loving the show. Great feedback from yesterday's show. We're here with you every Saturday. That's the intention in 2021. Next Saturday, Newbury. After that, it's Ascot. And then we're basically biding our time to Cheltenham. But horses that will be plotting themselves to Aintree, all over the place, Ayr, all that sort of stuff. You won't miss a beat here on Racing Post Live. Great to have you with us. Let's go to Tony Ennis then. He's going to call home the spring. Good luck if you've taken the plunge on Quilixios.
Yeah, about to be called in then. Over 2 miles for the Tattersalls Island Spring Juvenile Hurdle, another Grade 1 race, and they're off and running. And it is St. Sam who's going to go off and try and make the running on the run towards the first of the 8 flights. So, one of Willie Mullins' trio is going to try and set a task here for Quilixios. It's St. Sam who leads up to Bustleton Racing in second place. Quilixios, the hot favourite in third, the Cheveley Park colours, ahead of Yumdor being held up in the McNeil family colours on the inside of Varna Gold, and towards the back, dropped in is Hard Door, put to sleep
Pulling hard
by Rachel Blackmore.
If Posty says something's pulling hard, it's pulling his head off.
It's really trying to run through the bridle, and Rachel Blackmore's
Rachel's
doing
trying to
very
get it
well
stopped,
to
yeah.
anchor it.
So St. Sam's the leader then, and he's just steadied things up in front, leads by a couple of lengths to Bustleton. Quilixios looks happy in third where he is. Yumdor wasn't brilliant over the first flight, I thought. He's racing in fourth place on the inside of Varna Gold. Just wonder if hurdling is going to be Yumdor's Achilles heel, I think. Looking at him, obviously he's had a fall already. He's tanking a bit as well, isn't he, for Paul Townend? Here's the next.
Galliap de Menil or whatever it was that won the opener yesterday.
Yeah.
I say whatever it was, one of those names that I'm
I
finding
think
difficult.
Galliard de Mansell, yeah.
Galliard de Menil, yeah, okay.
I think
so
Hador
that was the first time.
Hador could be leading any minute now.
She's just got no choice about this, Rachel Blackmore. She
Yeah.
says, I'm a passenger, let's go then, boy. Now, this will be interesting, I guess, for the Fav, because Jack Kennedy is going to get the run of the race. Lovely toe into the race at the minute.
Do you ever see a favourite jump as well as
Yeah.
Quilixios here for a 4-year-old? He just skips over
does
them.
jump well,
It's
doesn't
so
he?
effortless for him.
And the polar opposite is Yumdor. He kind of just about
can't
bends
jump,
his
can he?
knees. He
Yeah.
doesn't really use his back very well with his technique. He seems to be getting in deep to every hurdle and just, like I say, just bending his knees and flicking through the top bar.
They're nicely strung out now, then ends on the far side. St. Sam, lovely enthusiastic hold.
Yeah.
Hallador's there, and the Fav, all going well so far.
Yeah, Quilixios fans will be happy at the moment, racing in third place, and behind him is Bustleton, and then comes Yumdor, who hasn't impressed at all with his hurdling, as Charlie was saying. He's got strange technique. Varna Gold is the back marker, but St. Sam in front, he's jumping all right too. He flicks over that one, lands a few clear. Hardor has pulled hard, racing in second. He's still keen, isn't he, for Rachel Blackmore in the Rich Richie colours. Quilixios in third place, going well. Bustleton fourth. What does he do on Yumdor? He's going to wait, I think, as late as possible, isn't he, Paul Townend?
Just follow Quilixios all the way and try and bounce at the last, I think.
Well, St. Sam's kicked on, leads by about 5 lengths to Hardor in second place.
He's nimble, the favourite, isn't
He
he?
has travelled very strong, though. Plenty keen enough as well as St. Sam.
Yeah, St. Sam has been keen, as you say, in front as well, as he races towards the next hurdle over on the far side. I think we've got about 3 left to jump from here. St. Sam is clear of Hardor in second place. Still moving well. Quilixios in third under Jack Kennedy for the Cheveley Park team and Gordon Elliott. Bustleton is next on the inside for JJ Slevin. Quilixios, it was okay. It wasn't as good as over that one as he was over some of the others,
He's
but he's
nimble, he's
clever.
clever.
Yumdor
I think the
is
hurdle just came back to him.
still back in 5th place, and Varna Gold, I'm afraid, has dropped off them. This leader, he's got a bit of a breaker, isn't he, St. Sam?
He's making his move. He has been keen. You heard Barry saying he'd been keen. Yumdor's got a lot of ground to make up here. Wouldn't be liking him. Barry, they're turning in. What's the market saying?
6-4 on Quilios, 9-4 Saint Sam, 5 Yumdor.
This will test the Gordon Elliott form because he's going to have to find some in the favour.
He's
But
finding
it.
this is all good, isn't it?
He's going well, Calixios, at the moment. 3 lengths behind St. Sam.
5-2 on now, Quilios.
Second last hurdle.
Winged it. Oh, St. Sam
job.
hit
Here we
it.
go.
Yeah,
Oh, Barry's getting excited. You can tell. This is.
Button.
Yeah, he's going well. Jack Kennedy
Here we
now.
go. Oh,
Calixios, here we
did
go.
you hear that? He
How
did a
far,
little.
lads? How
That's
far?
when you know he's confident. Look at this. What are we watching?
Calixios cruising past
Call the
St. Sam now.
distance, Enzo. Call the distance.
Bustleton's back in third.
Woohoo!
Nothing at all from Yumdor today. This could be, maybe this is his number one, Gordon Elliott, for the Triumph Hurdle.
Oh, this is
Calixios
questionably his number one.
comes towards the last. St. Sam's about 3 legs back in second place, but Calixios, very impressive so far. 1 left to jump. He's jumped really well throughout. Here's the last. He pops it. St.
He's
Sam
clever,
tired
this
in
horse.
second. Bustleton back in third. I think he's got a bit left here, isn't he, Calixios? He's had to be driven out to make sure that
He
St. Sam
quickens,
can't come back. Yeah, he's a good horse, isn't he? Calixios, unbeaten, 4 out of 4. Beats St. Sam into second place. A winner for Gordon Elliott, and Bustleton, I think it was, back in third place.
Thank you very much, Tony Ennis. Yeah, he's bred to be proper good on the flat, this horse, and he has got an engine, hasn't he? We'll get Barry Orr's reaction to that and the sportsbook for the Triumph Hurdle. 6-4 on he went into when Barry told you this was his nap of the day. Plenty of 11-10 about. Wasn't that gorgeous relief for Gordon Elliott all of a sudden? I know that we might be making a bit of the stable form at Posty. Once one of them wins like that, the rest of it is it's a little pressure off now.
Well, these are big weekends, aren't they? Full stop. And granted, he didn't have any standout chances yesterday, and this was almost the first one that he'd unleashed over the weekend. And massive pressure release now, and it means you can go into Delta work. Not saying the pressure's off, but like I say, at least he's got one big winner in the bag, and that's very
Ballyadam
important.
against appreciating.
And
He has
Ballyadam,
to
of course,
bounce
yeah.
back.
What is lovely about this horse, he's got a beautiful racing style as well. A bit like Gordon's other Triumph Hurdle fancy. They very relaxed way about him, good hurdling technique, and scenes the race out really, really well, which is very important going into Triumph Hurdle. Yumdor, big question marks about him now for me. He doesn't hurdle very like a natural, and he's fallen out the back of the screen very quickly. I think St. Sam probably can mark that performance up a little bit. He travelled very strong throughout, and
Did a bit too much,
yeah,
didn't he?
but looks a lovely big strapping horse, and there'll be a nice pot in him somewhere.
The Fred Winter, of course, is a race that we think about. Of course, the 4-year-old handicap. A lot of people thought that would be dropped instead of the novice handicap. It wasn't. You'd be thinking about Bustleton. Enzo might be thinking about that.
He ran well, didn't he? He wasn't beaten that far. He'd be an ideal sort for that race. Where do they go at Yumdor now? It just looks like he's had his limitations exposed a bit.
I want to ask Posty about this. You're schooling horses every single day. You sort of do it in his sleep. If a horse has had a fall on a racecourse, how long does it take to get it out of their mind?
It depends on the individual. The more sensitive types, it might leave a lasting impression that you never get away from. The slightly number sort of, type of animal, like they might not even bat an eyelid about it, and they might be prone to go and do exactly the same thing again. As in,
He did look like a horse there that was remembering a fall.
thinking about it, like he didn't want to. He didn't want to show any sort of scope to his hurdling, like as in every time he wanted to get right into the bottom of the hurdle, and he wasn't really using his back, like arching his back. All he was doing is bending his knees and like wrapping through the top bar every time, and almost dragging his back end through them as well. Like his technique, I'd imagine Willie would be going back to the drawing board with him and seeing if they can address that. But that is easier said than done. Because some of them just are more natural than others as well.
More likely to be seeing him at Royal Ascot, I think, than we are at the big festivals over hurdles, unless he can get it back together. But look, wasn't that super? Well done, Barry. Happy days. The nap's gone in. You're having a great weekend so far. What price is he now then for the Triumph? If you think that St. Sam was beaten 6 lengths behind Gordon's other big heavyweight for that, Zanahiyr over the Christmas meeting, there can't be that much between them on the book.
Yeah, he's only into 6-1 from 8-1. Obviously, our traders weren't overly impressed with that performance. So they they trimmed him in 2 points, so he's currently 6-1 chance.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. So not the Triumph favourite. Do you think that should be the way? Get it in. I'll tell you what, if you're following Barry, a friend of mine texted me this morning. I said, what's the big play today? He goes, I'm following your man Barry. Happy days. It's been a great weekend so far. It's the way it can go. So it's
probably not a long-term strategy that will pay. So to make the most of it what we can.
He's probably catching up a bit. No, all good. Listen, you don't have to play in every race is what we say here. Safe gambling all the way. Gamble responsibly. But do enjoy the crack and we're having a great time. We have a lot of fun here on Racing Post Live. We give you an alternate view of the races as they're going on the terrestrial TV races. And the next, I'm delighted to say, comes up from Musselburgh, and it is another Triumph Trial. Okay, we may not see any heavyweights here, but there's a really couple of interesting newcomers to the game. The horse that I like, Historic Heart, sitting nicely there at 6-1. I think he's got a cracking chance for Nigel Hawke. Barry Orr.
Yeah, 5 and 20 currently 2.60, so just around the 13-8 mark. 4.2 Wise Glory, Historic Heart. I thought that form looked smart as well. His second to Adagio for one-time Tiger Roll trainer Nigel Hawke, 7.6, and it's 8 bar. What I'm going to do here, though, I'm going to lay back 5 and 20 in running. I'm going to back it and lay it back in running. I think he's going to go off in front like he's done so far. So we're going to have 50 quid on him at the 2.60. And then I'm going to look to lay him. And we'll look to take 100 quid out of him, but we'll look to take 100 quid out of him at 1.30.
Okay, boys in the gallery today. Rob Lee, senior producer, putting the trades on for Barry.
And keep bet. So the keep bet function obviously is important.
I'll tell you what, it's quite nice that Rob Lee in the studio is doing these bets for once, because usually all you can hear is keep bet, keep bet. That's all you can hear in your ear, isn't it? Absolutely. So
He just never gives me a chance. He's always on at me. Like, I know what I'm doing.
Last week, Barry thought that Enzo was trading for him. Poor Tom Collins was doing all the donkey work. Enzo was getting all the credit. And do you know what? The fickleness about the man, he never once corrected Barry. He was happy to take it all.
Fair play.
Man United supporter, you see.
Yeah.
Glory hunters all the way.
Looking all right at the moment, though, isn't it?
Well, it's somehow, yeah. Give it to
that was a sickener for them last night.
I watched that last few minutes, Barry.
3-3 against Everton, wasn't it?
You knew, but I had a feeling with about 5 minutes to go that there was another goal coming, and United just don't close games out, do they? And defensively,
do you get angry about it? Do you have to go for a walk the dog?
Harry Maguire playing them all onside was frustrating.
Yeah, that
wasn't it?
that was not great.
He never seems to clear the ball. He's always keep playing everybody onside all the time.
I've got him going now. This is the last thing we want to hear about. I don't mind Harry Maguire. He's a big racing fan, Harry Maguire as well. Let me tell you, big racing fan. Okay, so Barry likes 5 and 20 here.
Money for it.
She's done it all well so far, hasn't she? Course form, no problems. Wise Glory, a horse that used to be with Simon Crisford for Shaker Bade. I remember his last one at Leicester. The ground won't be a problem for him, I think. He's a bit of a thinker. They spent a lot of money on him, Megan.
135 grand.
Yeah, I like Historic Heart. I think if he runs to that Adagio form, he travelled to the last there as well. Really like him, actually, for Nigel Hawke. The stable's been a bit quiet, but I thought he was overpriced. Posty?
I actually like Wise Glory. I think I quite like the flat form from Simon Crisford. I think Megan had recommended him to Paul as a decent prospect for this game. And look, I mean, if you're looking to take the favourite on, then that's where I'm going. Yeah.
Wise Glory. Okay, yeah, they wouldn't have to come here, would they? Although I guess he's got a battalion gone up there. Success so far for them up there as well. Enzo.
I went with 5 and 20. I wouldn't back it at 2.3. I think that's far too short. I thought she'd be nearer the 2-1 mark, but I've gone with her. But Wise Glory is interesting, as you say. Paul Nicholls, at least he's done really well. He's targeted this meeting in 2 days, and lots of runners up there yesterday as well, and again today. We don't know how good that horse is. The other one that's interesting is Carlos Felix. I was looking back at his flat form with David Simcock. He looked okay as well. Might be a horse who'll take to hurdling
it's
as
just
well.
whether he wants a little bit further. He looked like he won at least a mile 4 on the flat.
I think he cost about 700 grand as a year then as well, didn't he?
Yeah, the Yates colours, isn't it? Darren Yates. Nicholls had 4 runners in this in the past 10 years. 3 have won. None of them first time out.
No, Time White, wasn't it, last year?
Time White. We Have a Dream before that, 5's on for Nicky Henderson. Tommy Silver, he was a good horse, wasn't he, for Paul Nicholls. Hargam, do you remember him winning it in 2015? Semetical, won Hunter Chase, didn't he? Semetical the other day. It's great to see it.
Yeah.
It's at Wincanton. It's fantastic.
First win in 5 years.
Yeah, since 2016, wasn't it? Yeah.
We're discussing allowances as well. As 5 and 20 gets a useful £4 fillies allowance.
The fillies allowance, isn't it? And she's been here and she's done it. She was a good horse to Mark Prescott, but she's realised her potential over hurdles. It's good to see. Donald McCain's got some big horses up there this afternoon. So who's the horse again against Third Time Lucky?
Bareback Jack.
Bareback Jack. He's unbeaten, isn't he? So it's going to be a real thriller, that one. Cannot wait for that last race from Musselburgh that we'll be picking up. But look, 10 races. We're underway. 8 more to go for you here. What a treat. On RP Live, loving life at the moment. Happy days. The racing, jumps racing fans. Honestly, it's just, this is a great time of year, isn't it? It really, really is.
Yeah, it's the best, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
it's every weekend there's just big races. It's
Marvellous.
fantastic.
So
time.
fingers crossed with the weather. A punter I know yesterday said to me, "It was just too much yesterday." And I said, "Well, come on." I was like, "It's about with the weather we've
We're
got."
never
at the minute,
happy, are we?
We're never happy. We're never happy.
Storm
But
Darcy's going to batter us next week, apparently. There's a few more
is that what it's called? Storm Darcy.
Darcy's
They
coming.
are calling it from the beast from the east again, aren't they? Yeah, you're looking at the forecast in a minute. You're seeing -1 at lunchtime, and you, blimey, that's going to a cutting
-1
wind.
the day's high, isn't it? I think today
Is
and
it?
tomorrow. Yeah, apparently.
Wow, -4 overnight we might get to. So fingers crossed. Expect some jumpers, bumpers. I think next week.
Yeah,
shall we?
load it. There's already a card at
Inspections.
Kempton this week, isn't
Oh,
there?
is it? Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So, but all-weather racing continues as well. Big fans of that. Do not worry. We will be back on track. And I've got a good feeling about next Saturday. Not to put the kibosh on it. I think the forecast looks slightly better towards the back end. So, looking forward to this then. Scottish Triumph Hurdle. Is she hardening up then? 5 and 20, Barry.
She's 2.64, Dave. We backed her at 2.60, so she's just flirting around that kind of 13 to 8 mark. 4.3 Wise Glory, 6.4 Carlos Felix, some money for that. 7.2 Historic Heart. That seems to be the bit of value in the race, maybe going on that Cheltenham run. Historic Heart.
Okay, yeah, exactly. I do think so. They are off and running, and as expected, the favourite off in front.
Yep, 5 and 20 under the champion jockey is leading for Midland Park, and Donald McCain, his daughter of Far, is leading by a few lengths, the favourite, to Wise Glory in second place for Paul Nicholls. Felt Spar's in third place, racing ahead of King's Creek, who's in fourth under Connor O'Farrell. Just behind those, Historic Heart is racing ahead of Carlos Felix on hurdling debut. Here's the first of the 9 flights. 3 in the straight, 3 down the back, and 3 again in the home straight there. Le Magnifique was slightly iffy over that hurdle. Middle one of 3 up the home straight, comes up pretty quickly. It's 5 and 20, leading up comfortably at the moment. She's got the lead, as we thought she would. She's a couple of lengths clear at the moment. Over Felt Spar is going to take off in a share of second, with the Paul Nicholls runner Wise Glory in third. Just in behind them, Historic Heart is racing fourth now, ahead of Kings Creek fifth. Then Carlos Felix, who's settled into quite a nice rhythm under Harry Skelton. Willy Nilly is next, the other Donald McCain runner, as they jump the next. Le Magnifique is the back marker. They've all jumped the first 3 flights safely, which takes them up towards the stands.
You can tell, Posty, can't you, of the 2 newcomers that Carlos Felix is having his first run over. He's backed off them slightly, whereas Wise Glory's
been excellent early on. Looked really sharp, as in sort of winged the second flight on a good stride, and then met the third flight on a deep stride, and was really quick on his feet, really sorted himself out very sharp, and that's exactly what you want to see. Give Harry Cobden loads of confidence as we turn into the back straight.
He's a very interesting horse, Wise Glory. If you think that, he could have gone to Australia down on the flat, it would have been money for him as well. Lovely to see these horses
Great
staying
to see
jumping.
that, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a hole in the market that we need to plug. Wise Glory would be one of them. So we're on the far side then, Enzo, and she's doing plenty up front.
I thought she was a little bit keen, maybe, just going around that turn, but she's jumped well, wasn't she? 5 and 20. But another good jump as well by Wise Glory. The big 2 in the market have both hurdled well. Right alongside is Felt Spar for Craig Nicholls, at a gap of 4 lengths to Historic Heart and Dave Noonan, who's racing ahead of Kings Creek, and then comes Carlos Felix, who's been given a waiting ride by Harry Skelton. Good jump by the leader again there. She's very nimble, isn't she, this 5 and 20. Jumps accurately and quickly, doesn't spend much time in the air. I like the way she jumps. She still leads by a couple, although Wise Glory's impressed really as well, the way he's jumped, Charlie, so far.
Jumped really well so far. Historic Heart has been chased along a couple of times
Just
by
can
Dave
see why the
Noonan.
cheap pieces are on, can't you? A little bit lazy.
A little bit lazy. And again, Carlos Felix is really warming to the task. Harry Skelton now sat in the slipstream of Wise Glory, and his jumping has warmed up throughout too.
Yeah.
Okay, Barry, we've got 3 more to take. What is the market saying about the Fav? She's still the one to beat.
Still, but just marginally, 2.54 now. Wise Glory is 2.90, and it's 7.8 Carlos Felix. Historic Heart now into 7.6, but the favourite odds on now are 1.90.
Just starting to warm up now. Historic Heart. Wise Glory gets the hurry up as well, but she's gone in. She's a couple of lengths in front.
Yeah, he's pressed a few buttons, hasn't he? Brian Hughes around the turn. She's gone clear all of a sudden, 5 and 20 by 6 lengths now.
Matched.
Wow. To Wise and Glory, who's trying to come after her on the inside. But 5 and 20 is clear from Wise Glory of that one. Then comes Felt Spar. Then the Historic Heart, who's trying to make up some ground now. So a long way to go. Only 2 to jump in the straight.
Yeah,
5 and
Historic
20.
Heart's the danger, isn't it? A horse that got home over Cheltenham last time behind Adagio, since followed up in the Grade 1.
Yeah, 5 and 20, not so far ahead. About 5 lengths now to... Oh, she makes a mistake there, but she's still got a good lead over Historic Heart and Felt Spar. Nothing at all from the other runners.
We're matched, lads, so no matter what happens, we're winning 50 quid in
Well
this
done,
race.
Barry. Happy days. She does stay well on the flat. I think she's going to stay there now. Just gets over the last.
Yeah, she's flicked over the last safely enough, and she's about 8 lengths clear. Oh, bad mistake, Felt Spar when held in third. Historic Heart is running on in second, but we've got about 10 lengths to find. It looks like she's got a bit left here. Brian Hughes and 5 and 20 up to the line for Midland Park. Donald McCain, she'll remain unbeaten over hurdles. Looks a nice type, doesn't she? Very nimble.
It's a very interesting run, that, if you take Historic Heart literally. I spoke to David Pipe when Adagio won at the November meeting. He said, well, I'm not sure about it, and they put the second up £12, not sure why. Well, Adagio went and won the finale hurdle. We've seen Defi Desoy won that year, didn't we? It's a race that can produce a top notcher, of course, over hurdles. And I don't know, she's done everything she had to there, Posty.
She looks very straightforward, doesn't she?
Adagio, one of the leading British hopes at the moment for the Triumph.
Well, what's interesting for me, though, she's a marker 128. She was getting 4 off the second, who's rated 131. What's she going to go up for today?
Well, she'll probably get a 6 for that, something like
135,
that. When in doubt, say 7 is what we say.
Yeah, 135. But, so that probably puts a bit of a quandary about Fred Winter, no?
You'd be looking
Boodles, 21.
Boodles, yeah. I mean, without being rude, you'd struggle to see her winning a Triumph hurdle as it stands right now. Whereas, her uncomplicated run style and the fact that she seems like a solid jumper would be a big asset in a Boodle.
You think she'd be a target for Calixios and Zana here at this point, would you? Triptonic as well. He's the one I like.
Yeah, I'd like to say just much as she is likeable, and she's shown a real aptitude for going around Musselburgh, but I'd struggle to see her as a Triumph hurdle winner. And I'd have thought if as long as she doesn't get a ridiculous rise, the Boodles would offer her more of a winning chance at a festival rather than the Triumph hurdle.
You wouldn't be surprised if Donald McCain came out after and said, we're not even that bothered about jumping. It's still early days for her. We want in flat track. Maybe we'll go to Aintree or something like that. Maybe we could go to Ireland later on, God willing. But I don't know. The owners, Midland Park, big syndicate, might be dreaming of glory there. But maybe it will be the Boodles. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind getting a price about Historic Heart for the Boodles. I think the tactics were not naive there, but they were hoping that she would come back.
Yeah.
He's a horse
that's
that's
gone
up the hill at Cheltenham.
He's the only one who's finished off the race of the rest of them.
I really like him, He looks a little bit ungainly and he needs a couple of spats, but he does respond. And I think there's a pretty very useful hurdler in the making there, Historic Heart.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And like you say, track probably ridden the wrong way around this track,
Okay, that was the first at Musselburgh. Delighted. More races coming from you from Scotland this afternoon, but we must go back to Leopardstown. It is the Farmer Chanel Grade 1 novice hurdle. Grade 1s are plenty. It's only appreciated coming back out on track. What is he going to do? He was around about 2s on when I last looked, Barry.
Yeah, that's what he is, Dave. He's bang on 2s on 1.50 on the exchange at the moment. He has been matched at a high of 1.97, so nearly even money. This is, without a shadow of a doubt, the best novice hurdle ran in Ireland or England this season. It's just chock-a-block with quality. You've appreciated, obviously, the future champions winner. The horse that finished second to him last day is Irascible. You've Master McShee, who has finished second to him first time up, to appreciate. You've Mr. Coldstone, Blue Lord, who was second to Bob Alingo. And you've Ballyadam, who, by all accounts, will be turned inside out. He scoped dirty last day, and he's sure to improve, although they wouldn't want the ground too soft for him. But I just think the favourite, you have to oppose him at the price. If he was even money, I'd be a backer, but at 2s on,
short,
I think he's very, very short for such a competitive race, and a race where several of these can take a step forward on what they've already shown. So going to take 100 quid out of him to lose 50. We're winning 150 at the moment after 3 races, and so we'll take 100 quid at the backer stake to lose 50. Don't mind being a price taker here. I can't see him getting much shorter than that. Famous last words, I know, but for a liability of 50 quid to win 100, have the field running for us at 2-1 against.
It's interesting, Barry, isn't it? I mean, there are a couple of things against him. I mean, there's been 5 7-year-olds that are running this in the last 10 years, and they're not from 5 bays. You haven't gone anywhere near the places. Silver Concord was the last to run in this, 2015. It was a 7-year-old. However, none of them have been anything like this price. I don't know what you read into that, but this is a horse that, he's a 7-year-old, isn't he? Not many 7-year-olds win the Supreme. I spoke to Patrick Mullins about this on Friday, Racing Post ambassador now, of course, and of all the horses that we mentioned to him, some off air as well, we didn't go into Kilcrew, I have to say, but of all the horses, he did have a bit of a glint in his eye about this. Of course, you remember he rode him in the Champion Bumper. You would think that ordinarily, giving his grounding, that he might have been a 2 mile forward horse this year.
Well, he won a 2 mile forward bumper.
So the fact that he didn't get up the hill, Fernie Hollow out stadium, I think they thought, right, we just know we've got the Supreme. Now, the reason why this is interesting, this race, is because at the moment, the Supreme Novice Hurdle, it's all about one horse, it's all about him. And he, of the favourites that look clear, I'm a bit surprised that he's not shorter in the anti-post market.
Yeah. lack of opposition, as you say. Ballyadam was fancy to beat them, though, wasn't he, last time? They were quite close in the betting, weren't they, that
The
day?
Royal Bond winner. He was flat, wasn't he?
He, as you say, scoped dirty. Maybe they can get him back, and maybe he's overpriced. But there's more money, as far as I can see. Appreciate it's going to go even shorter than this 1 to 2 now. It's amazing.
When he won his maiden hurdle at Down Royal back in October, like you say, it was better ground than he's going to face today. But that form was actually working out better than his Royal Bond. He beat a horse called He's a Hardy Bloke back in third, who's unbeaten since then. Look, he's a good horse, isn't he? But again, coming back, I don't know. It was a bit too bad to be true for me last time, and he wouldn't be the one for me. I think Appreciate will win. I think he just has to repeat what he does. He's unbeaten at Leopardstown, and Pooltown, and I think he will defy that 7-year-old stat. But Blue Lord is a horse that quite interests me. I wonder whether he might be going for a handicap potentially. When he got beaten last time by Bob Ollinger, near favourite, isn't he, for the Ballymore? We're going to get a great line on that now. It was a Mickey Mouse race, very keen.
Do you think they drop back in triple help, though?
I think it will. I think they're going to go a gallop here, and I'm expecting to see something interesting from Blue Lord. Is there a without market here, Barry?
Yeah, there certainly is, Dave. Yeah, there's a good without market as well. Obviously, with the favourite being so short now, 1-4-5, so 9-4 on. Ballyadam and Blue Lord 7-2 each of 2 in the without market. It's 4 Master McShee, irresistible 4, and it's 20-1 bar those 4 quoted.
Yeah, Master McShee's another 7-year-old. As you mentioned, Barry, he's interesting. He won that handicap, didn't he? Wide receiver, I could see him running well. Again, they might be looking at a handicap. I think this will be a big form race coming to the festivals, but now he's looking at under 2s on. He's a bit short, isn't he? But do you expect him to win, Posty?
I think he'll win. He's by Jeremy as well. He should absolutely relish this heavy ground.
Remarkable story of Jeremy the late sire.
Yeah, exactly. And he seems very uncomplicated. Appreciate it. Like you said, the fact that he won a 2-mile-4 bumper back in his days in that sphere shows that he stays well as well. And I think he's rock solid myself.
Are you taking him on, Ends?
5-2 on. It seems a bit short, doesn't it? I wouldn't back him that price.
Is it because of the weekend Mullins is having, do you think?
It's just a bit... I thought he'd be nearer the sort of 4-6 mark, but as you say, it's extraordinary, isn't it, the price? There's just a few others in there down the bottom. Obviously, Willie Mullins has got 6 in the race. I was looking at horses like Master McShee. I wonder if he's underrated a bit because
he
of the
got
trainer.
such a perfect
great
run
story,
when he won that.
Exactly,
He will be there. He will be. I think, he probably is the one to beat. Blue Lord's got to. He's got the that latent talent in him, but Master McShee will run to that mark, won't he? I suppose.
11-4 on. Wow, this is.
And it's a really great story, that. I mean, I think the trainer trains the one horse, doesn't he? Ian Power had gone out of the job and come back at late 30s and.
There's a lovely piece in the Post about that.
It was really good, yeah.
In the week, yeah. So big story there. He could have gone for the big handicap, of course, Master McShee. They're trying their luck in Grade 1 Novice. Could we see indeed something rippling for the county hurdle? Something. It's an exciting time, isn't it? And we've got some social media comments coming on the screen. Jake Harmon, good on you, Jake. Gone for Irascible without the faff. Well, just had to run to what he did last time, doesn't he? And I can absolutely see that. Let's have the next one coming in. Joe Holden, good to have you back, Joe. Blue Lord without the faff. That's the way I would be playing this. There's a good horse in there. Brian Cooper taking the ride. Mullins has won 7 of the last 10 of this event. So people are obviously looking at that. The bookmakers are hiding behind the covers. So Steering Falange won it. You will remember last year. Of course, he runs later on. Classical Dream, who of course went and followed up in the Supreme. And Sam Crow, the year before that, Gordon Elliott's one winner of the race. Nichols Canyon, Vitor, Champagne Fever, they're all there, aren't they? This goes to a top-notcher. I really hope we see something special from Appreciate It. I must admit, I took some multiples just to give myself some interest. And I was surprised he was around about 11-4 mark for the Supreme, simply because the opposition is thin on the ground. Where's the Nicky runners? Where's the Paul Nichols runners? They're just not there, so... I thought My Drogo might be the forgotten about horse to a certain extent for the Brits.
Yeah, very much. I mean,
Skeletons.
I suppose you're hoping that there still might be a contender emerge from Nicky Henderson's.
It's tough to see, though, isn't it? We're running out of time. So, listen, I'm from an anti-post perspective, I'm hoping that Appreciate wins. Just be about my next best at the minute at the festival. But I couldn't be near him today, and I think a lot of you will probably be the same as well. Of course, He's a Hardy Bloke does indeed a rear pose, but Barry says this is the best novice hurdle run either side of the sea at the moment. So we're about to find out. It could be something special. I expect Paul Townend to sit around about 3rd or 4th, Barry, don't you, on the inside, pull out like he did last time, and off he goes.
Yeah, I'd say there's going to be plenty of pace here. Wide receiver likes to go forward. Ballyadam will be prominent. Appreciate It will be prominent. Blue Lord will be prominent. You Yeah, Hook Up. He's another one that will go forward. So there's going to be plenty of pace on for sure.
Okay, yeah, so lots of options there. Could it be a messy race? Could that get the favour? Is this an in-running race? Do you think he'll spike at any point? We shall see. They're going round down at the start.
Lovely bit of size about him, isn't he, the favourite?
Yeah, he's a big
Stamp of
scopy
him,
horse.
Wow,
Yeah.
size of him.
Backing him like the feet's out of the question. He's 1.41 now. Like he's 5-2 on from nearly even money.
Yeah, he's
It's
definitely
crazy stuff.
He's definitely expected, isn't he? And again, he'll be in lots of multiples today, Barry, won't he?
Yeah, he surely will. Yeah, the short ones in Leopardstown. Yeah.
And Calixios, of course, we've seen go in. So they're probably a little bit scared of what's to come, aren't they? Of course, we've got Monkfish. That would be the treble. Calixios, Appreciate It, and Monkfish. Or have you stuck something in at Musselburgh? Let us know if you've got any multiples going out of Lucky 15s. We know you like to do that. Racing Post Live. We're cooking with gas at the moment. This is the Shana Fennell Grade 1. Are we going to see tightening at the top of the market for the Supreme Novice Hurdle in March? Appreciate It. Unbeaten at Leopardstown, going for 4 from 4.
Yep, 9-4 for the Supreme Novices. They're coming in then for this Chanel Farmer Novices Hurdle, Grade 1 over 2 miles. Oh, is that going to be another full
again.
start?
That was a bit harsh, wasn't it?
It looked all right, didn't
That
it?
was a soft. I usually say soft unseat, don't you? It's a.
You're going to have to come in again. Yeah.
You know,
See,
what I'm thinking about
IHRB are
posting.
having a bit of a mare with starts between.
I said you usually say soft unseat. You don't usually say soft dead eat.
Every
When we say
jockey's,
soft dead
every
unseat.
jockey's favourite thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I tell you what, when you're an analyst and you write soft unseat, you have to. Experience tells you have to watch it back at least 10 times before you say that, because they can get a little bit touchy about that.
The only thing I would say by that angle is sometimes the ones that look the softest actually when you're riding them just aren't as simple as it looks, if you know.
Yeah, you bat your corner, my friend.
I will, of
you
course,
bat your
yeah.
corner.
Yeah.
All right, they're off and running for the Chanel.
Racing them for the Chanel Farmer Novice Hurdle Grade 1, 8 flights to take on the rundown of the first. He's very handy, the favourite, Appreciated. He's right there on the inside. Irascible, one of the greys, is up there too as they head towards flight number 1. Let's see how they jump it. A little bit iffy towards the back. That was Hook Up who made a mistake in rear. One of the Rich Ritchie runners. The other Rich Ritchie runner is the other grey. That's out wide and go low at this stage. Master McShee's handy at about 4th place, racing in company with Great Bear, who's just off them. Then the McManus colours. That's Magic Tricks, one of the Gordon Elliott trio in the race. Is racing in mid-pack. The white cap a bit further out. That's Wide Receiver, another Gordon Elliott horse. Maybe Gordon Elliott's main runner is Bally Adam. He's in mid-pack at this stage. The Chieveley Park colours. They're looking for a double, aren't they? Chieveley Park stud and Gordon Elliott and Jack Kennedy. And then behind those we have Blue Lord, who looks the Mullins second string ahead of Cask Mate, who's back towards the rear. Then comes Hook Up, the mare. And last of all, Dennis O'Regan with a ride for Willie Mullins on Mr. Coldstone. Another one, the Mullins Sextet at the back of the field. But the favourite was ridden pretty handily throughout so far. He's right there on the inside. I imagine he's still around the same price he was at the start.
Yeah, Barry, all as we were.
Yeah, he's 141. Irascible is currently 20. 10 Master McShee. That just they're all hovering around what their Betfair SPs were, to tell you the truth. No massive changes.
Master McShee is doing exactly what he did when he won the handicap there last time. He sat about 3 wide, just off the pace. You know when he's going to press the button. A couple keen out the back, aren't there? A couple of the Mullins second strings. Look, I'm looking for Blue Lord. He's settled quite nicely today, actually. I'm expecting something better, and they're waiting a little bit more with Bally Adam. Makes some sense.
Yeah, it might turn into a test of speed perhaps this race. It's got a steady tempo. Appreciate it's right there on the inside. Irascible is right alongside now. Then Master McShee for Ian Power, who's 3 wide, and Golo the Greys up on the outer. Just in behind them is Galopan de Champ, who's just in behind for Willie Mullins. Cask Mate follows him through. Bally Adam buried away by Jack Kennedy in midfield at this stage. He's racing in company there with his stablemate Wide Receiver. Then comes the other Elliott runner, Magic Tricks, over that one, over that hurdle. Towards the back still is Hook Up, and right towards the back is Mr. Coldstone. Appreciate It, though, appears to be jumping nicely on the inside. They haven't gone that quick, apparently. Irascible is, though, about a neck away in second. Very close, Master McShee in third, and out wider is the Grey and Golo over that hurdle. Looking further back, Bally Adam appears to be travelling quite nicely.
He is. He's got a nice way about him today. We're going to see the real Bally Adam today, I think. The other one that's catching my eye is the JB horse, Magic Tricks. Disappointed last time. They will have a Cheltenham target for him, no doubt.
Yeah. Everything travelling fairly well, though. It suggests a steady tempo throughout this race, and as it stands, favourite is in the perfect position to sort of take advantage of the lack of pace.
Yeah, Paul Townend. When will he press a few buttons? He's jumped that hurdle really well. He's a big horse, isn't he? Appreciate it. Huge horse. He leads Irascible. Master McShee is there, and Golo is still 4 wide. Galopin Des Champs is next, racing ahead of Great Bear, who's in the mix. Ballyadam still moving quite well, Ballyadam at this stage. Behind those, we have Cask Mate, just niggled along. Magic Tricks has been passed by Blue Lord towards the outside, who is on the move, Blue Lord. He's got about 6th or 7th now, getting noticeably closer, Dave.
You know, this is interesting. This is the Bob Oninger form, isn't it, I think? So now we're sorting the wheat from the chaff. Now they're getting racing. Is he just going to lengthen, or has he been kept too on it? Ballyadam, I'll tell you what, he looks the big danger to me.
He's going well, Ballyadam. Appreciate it. Lands in front, though, to in second place, Master McShee. And Golo drops back. Here comes Ballyadam. He's going all right, isn't he, towards the outside, Ballyadam. We could have the match we wanted at Christmas. It could happen today.
Now they're opening up.
Yeah, he's going well, but Ballyadam's coming at him now. Appreciate it's going to have to fight a little bit, but he's still going well, the leader. Here comes Ballyadam now, set after him by Jack Kennedy. Oh, we got a race on. Appreciate it in front, though. Ballyadam in second place, but Appreciate it's finding more at the moment.
Oh, he's good.
He's got 2 lengths on Ballyadam. Galopin Des Champs gone third. It's still Appreciate it on the run to the last. Looks like he's got Ballyadam now. Oh, what a lovely jump. Oh, Ballyadam lands on all 4s, and that could be race over. Blue Lord staying on behind has now gone into third from Galopin Des Champs, and then comes Hook Up, but Appreciate it will retain his unbeaten status this season, make it 3 out of 3 for Willie Mullins and Paul Townend. Had to work today. Ballyadam much better in second. Back in third, Blue Lord.
So much to like about that. Well done if you took the odds about it. Well done if you're on him for the Supreme, because he is going to take a mother and a father of beating in the Supreme if he turns up in the same sort of form. I think, talking of form, Posty, that is going to work out to be sizzling form. The way that what I like about him, workman-like, trier, the way that Ballyadam came to him just as off the home turn, that was the big question mark, Posty. We could see, couldn't we? No, you don't. Off I go.
Oh, he almost, I mean, he's a massive physical specimen of a horse to start, but he almost like lowers himself as he starts picking up. You know, Paul Townend sees a lovely shot at the last, nice and positive, jumps it ever so well. Ballyadam misses out as he's feeling the pinch, and he looks like he's got a real great attitude to the job, doesn't he? Looks like it'd be a pleasure to ride.
Looks like a stayer to me.
Yeah, tactically.
Looks like he can get 2.5 easy.
A stayer with 2 mile speed is a potent weapon, isn't it? And the Supreme, as we've seen time and again, is another of these races at Cheltenham where having a bit of stamina in the locker is no bad thing. And the fact that he's going to be able to ride him, very, very simple. Pop him out. If somebody wants to go quicker than him, fine. If not, he can make his own run in. And he ticks a hell of a lot of boxes, doesn't he?
There were some very interesting runs in behind as well. Blue Lord, I was happy with that, considering they rode him to settle. They're still worrying about, but this race is not just about the winner, I don't think. The second is obviously a tool, isn't he? Yep. Royal Bomb winner. He's right back on song. They'll be happy with that. Whether they think they can beat him or not at Cheltenham remains to be seen. But some better ground, that might swing it in his favour. Blue Lord, you're watching him. He's run on into third.
There's a race in him, isn't there?
Somewhere? He is the interesting one. And Hook Up, did she come in for 4th?
I think she did. She was the one who was like untied at the first.
Could she be one for the Mayor's Novice?
Possibly. The way, because she's definitely made up a lot of ground there, hasn't she? Travels really well on the inside.
She really has, yeah.
Yeah,
you can put a line through her down the far side.
Yeah. So Barry, let's talk about it then. What price did he hit when Ballyadam came to him? Did anyone start panicking?
No, Ballyadam hit a low of 1.60 just for small money. The winner now 13 to 8 from 9 to 4. So another short one at the Cheltenham Festival.
Oh,
Ballyadam, could they experiment with trip?
Ballyadam with the trip.
Could he go up in trip?
He could do, couldn't he?
Yeah.
It's also travels strongly from off the pace.
It seems pointless taking on Appreciate.
Exactly, yeah. As in, you kind of feel like now he's been beaten by him twice.
Try something different.
Excuses last time, but I'd say he's given his run in for sure now, and I don't see any reason why he should turn the form around at Cheltenham.
Galopin Des Champs has bounced back from pulled up last time by Graham Ross. He's got some interesting form. I just think we've seen a sizzling form race there. Appreciate it. Poetry in motion. The Favs are going in left, right and centre. We've got another short one at Musselburgh, but did we see the Supreme Novice now? Unbelievable scenes. Did we see the County Hurdle winner? Did we see the Mayor's Novice Hurdle winner? We're being spoiled here at Leopardstown. More Grade 1 action to come later on. We've got to go back to Musselburgh, however, for the 225. Another interesting novice chase and another short one from a leading trainer, this time Paul Nicholsbury.
Yeah, very much so, Dave. Very well fancied as well. 3 under through 5. At the moment, currently trading at around the 1.94 mark. Janie, odds on now. I didn't think it'd be that short. Obviously, number 7's a non-runner.
They're all going in on the shorties.
Yeah, they really are. It was 2.14 earlier when I was fancying it, so around the 11 to 10 mark. But Shade of odds on now, 1.95. He's brought this horse along lovely. He had the total win a bumper, won the Linkfield over 2.5 miles, beat a hot pot of Alan Kingston and Ludlow over 2.5 when he stayed on well. The step up to this trip is really going to suit him. And Paul says in his piece on Betfair, this is a race he's really targeted for him. So I thought he'd win. I'm going to be a price maker here, though. I don't want to back him at odds on. I'm hoping he'll kind of drift out a bit. So if we select to back him, and we'd put in to back him at 2.02, so a little over even money, and we'll have 50 quid on him at that price. So we're going to be a price taker here, or a price maker, and hopefully we'll get matched. So I'll keep you updated as we go along.
Barry Orr's having some weekend, isn't he? And I agree, Barry. I didn't think he'd be this short, but I thought he was the one to beat. When he came out and he won, was it Lingfield when he won on his hurdling debut? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? It was, and he beat a horse called the Brass Man, who since been turned over at Exeter, but I know that Tom George thinks that's one of his potential future stars. It was hock deep, and you got no problems with that. Posty?
Yeah, it's highly unoriginal, but I'm completely the same. As in, he's got a very lazy way of racing this 3 under through 5 as well, like you say. As in the fact at Lingfield, he saw it out very well. I think stamina is what he's all about, and I think this step up in trip again is only going to be to his advantage. The Golden Rebel's a bit of a surprising one. English Pointer actually was pretty exposed. I'm surprised he's second favourite in this, if I'm being completely honest. I thought the Donny race smacked of not a fluke, but
29 lengths he won by though.
He did win a long way, but I'd like to see him back it up before I'd be sort of believing that. As in Jack Andrews sort of jumped out in front, and I don't know whether he nicked it, but got a long way clear, and they were never able to reel him in.
So, yeah, we'll find out about that from him. Yeah, I know he's interesting. He's well fancied in the market, Barry, as well, isn't he? He's held his price, the Golden Rebel, all the way.
Yeah, the Golden Rebel 4.6 now, so just 7-2 chance. The favourites hardening all the time. 189 now, 10-9 on. Like the lads have said there, the shorties are going in, and I'd say there's plenty of liabilities running up across the boat meeting.
That has seen the Twisters horse of Cafe, Fantasticas, go right out in price. He looks the value now because he's certain to stay. We know that. Barbados Bucks is fancy for some for the Albert Bartlett, the horse that beat him at Paul Nichols, of course. Nichols has got a line, we should say that on him. But Mr. Harp, the horse that was third that day, has come out one handicap. A little bit unlucky not to follow up at Warwick. For sure.
And Witness Protection that beat in the run before is a progressive horse for Martin Keithley as well. So like his form stacks up absolutely fine, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks the place play in the race. I'm surprised he's as big as all the way up to 5-1 now. Who we've got Non here, haven't we? Is that Gold Miner the Non?
Yeah, Gold Miner's out.
He would have been quite interesting in that. So we've got an Irish horse here, haven't we, Barry? Born Patriot.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, Born Patriot. I don't know much about it. Peter Fahey's horse, Richard Johnson, in the plate. Obviously a 5-year-old. He's one that's not really on my radar coming into this race. I thought it was an average enough race that he won first time up, and the horse he bumped into last day wouldn't be much either.
They've got a horse later on, haven't they, up against Third Time Lucky that ran at Ascot. Belfast Banter, of course.
Ran the Betfair Trophy.
He did, and he sort of made a move on that, didn't he? Yeah, so a very interesting horse. You'd imagine that's the big player there, but Born Patriot, Ricky's gone all the way up to Musselburgh today, isn't he?
It's a tip in itself.
It should be. I'm looking to see, and do you know what? He's had 4 rides for Peter Fahey since 2009. 2 of them have gone in.
Is this his only ride at Musselburgh?
Good question. He'd
Belfast
be on Belfast, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
But I mean, Ricky Johnson is also notoriously mean, and he'll go anywhere for a few quid. So
if you see Ricky on an outsider,
I would always put people off being like flagging it up that's a definite pointer, because he'll go anywhere for 150 quid.
Multiple champion jockey, one of the best we've ever seen. But if you see him on a 66-1 shot, he's there for the ride.
He's there for the cash, and that's all. Yeah.
Tell you what, these jockeys, they tell it how it is, don't they? Okay, keep your social media comments coming in. What did you make of Appreciate? What did you make of Calixios? What did you make of the racing so far this weekend? We love to know. What are your multiples for Cheltenham? How's your portfolio looking? Are we getting there? Happy days. It's going to be a really interesting race. I was looking down the list of previous winners for this. Nichols hasn't had anything as far as I can see. 007 or 007, of course, won it in 2016. The McNeil family won it last year with IK Brunei.
He's been disappointing.
He has been disappointing for Ollie Murphy, isn't he? Yeah, he needs to bounce back. But Fantasticas, I'm surprised he's as big as he is. That shows you the confidence behind 3 under through 5. Enzo, what do we think about the running positions for this?
I think
have you got a map, by the way?
Yeah, I've got my map. I think the Golden Rebel's going to make the running. He did so, didn't he, at Doncaster when he won? I think he'll be up there.
The standard of your maps are, they're indifferent, aren't they?
Yeah,
you see a horse
some
sometimes
better than
wing one
others.
and then fiddle one. You're indifferent with your maps.
Yeah,
I feel like it wasn't a grade A in art.
As I said on the last time when he came, it's a good excuse to get out homeschooling at the minute, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I'll go back to that tomorrow.
It is
Thankfully-
fascinating though watching a commentator prep it all, isn't it? Like, as in, I always the work that goes into it that people don't realise.
He doesn't
the
do a
skill
lot,
of it.
does he? I think he's punting more than he is.
Plenty at Lingfield yesterday. Plenty of work went into Lingfield yesterday.
All right, fair
Plenty of
enough.
prep.
All right, we'll take your word for it, Enzo. All right, no worries. So it looks like the Golden Rebel, as Charlie mentioned, did he steal the race at Doncaster last time? We'll find out, but he's right up there. Sam Tristan Davis is sort of walking in right behind him as well. A bit of a mixed bag in this race, but as I said, we could see something for the Albert Bartlett potentially at Cheltenham. It's worth, it's worth what, 13 grand to the winner, isn't it? So a good pot for 300 through 5, who is going to be a nice chaser, all being well. I think the 6-year-old.
Yeah, he's quite a tall horse, isn't he? Got a bit of size about him. This Nichols horse. Definitely
Yeah.
can see him chasing next year.
We were saying yesterday, we had Matty Batchin as well, didn't we, posting? We were saying about Musselburgh, you generally don't want to get too far behind on over fences or hurdles, do you?
Not really.
Looks like it's raining
It's
heavy there now, doesn't it?
Sharp old track, and it's built around speed. I mean, much as the ground has maybe levelled that out and made it quite hard work up there this week, but I don't think you want to be far off the pace.
A driving storm then, as Barry says, has arrived at Musselburgh. Let's hope we see something rain down thunder in this, wherever your selection is. Let's go to Teddy Ennis for the call.
They're racing 3 miles then this time, just under 2 circuits of the track, just over 2 circuits of the track. And the Golden Rebel wants to lead, isn't he? He's going to be just ridden along to get to the front here, leading up to Leo Star, who's going to jump it in second place. 3 under through 5, back in about 5th over that one. Racing on the inside is Fantastic Ass as they clear that hurdle. Now they've got this long run up past the stands. So they've got 2 circuits almost ahead of them. And over that hurdle, it is the Golden Rebel, the Doncaster winner, who leads, and leads by a leg. That's Tidal Point, who's made a move on the outside to get much closer now in second. Fantastic Ass, it is racing in 3rd place. Behind those is Leo Star in 4th. 3 under through 5, Adrian Heskin, looking for back-to-back wins in this race, is back settled in behind with Born Patriot, the Irish Raider, under Richard Johnson. There's that turn. They'll go on to the all-weather gallop now, which takes them towards the back straight. And they head towards the 3rd flight in a moment. You'll take quite a few jumps in this race, aren't they? Lots of hurdling to get through. And up front, the leader is still the Golden Rebel. As they make the run down the back, they've got still 12 more to take in this Scottish Stayers novice hurdle. So the Golden Rebel, Keelan Woods, making the running, Dave, as we thought. He's leading about a length clear.
Yeah, okay. We're going to find out about him today, aren't we? Because they're not, obviously, they're wise to this. They're not going to let him slip at all, I don't think. Fantastic Ass, I guess Charlie's got the run in the race. He's been a little bit slow, hasn't he, the favourite so far?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a lazy way of racing, a full stop, I think. I mean, the Golden Rebel, as you said, he's not been allowed any free room. I'm just surprised to see Keelan Woods have to chase him away from the start quite a lot to get him up to the lead. And whether that, is a negative or not, I'm not sure, as we're going to find out as the race unfolds.
Okay, all right. We've got the second leg of that treble coming up in Southwell as well soon, haven't we? I can tell you, I'm on the chat with the news desk at the moment, the editorial side. It's absolutely kicking off, and I've got a line on Appreciate It from Graham Rodway. Can't wait to give you that one after this race as well. But we go back to Musselburgh. It is the Stayers race indeed, and I don't know. Yeah, Barry with the market, 300 through 5. He's jumped a little bit big, but he's not far away, surely, for his price to have drifted that much.
No, he drifted out just before the off, and he's a bet for SP at 2.22, so nearly 5 to 4. But he's 11 to 10 chance now, 2.10. The Golden Rebel shortened up off the back of going out in front at 3.75, and there was some money pre-race for Born Patriot. He was into 13 to 2 when the flag went up. He's now out to 14 in the run.
Fantastic, thanks Barry. I'm laughing because Graham Rodway's on my chat, and I'll tell you he's not impressed, but appreciate it. We'll get to that after this. Fantastic Ass then on the inside. He's gone well so far, hasn't he? I think if I'd taken the drift about him, I'd be pretty happy.
Yeah, Fantastic Ass in 3rd. This is the 6th flight, Dave, for the first in the home straight. They've still got a long way to go, haven't they, here? Still over a lap to go. They've taken 14 flights in this race, of course, 6 per circuit. Just a little niggle as well by Richard Johnson on Born Patriot. Doesn't appear to be travelling that well. Meanwhile, the leader is still the Golden Rebel. He leads a length clear at the moment to Fantastic Ass, and then comes Leo Star, Tidal Point. Favourites made a place. He just skipped over that one. He's quite a big horse, and he's 3 under through 5. And he's making ground now to go to third place. Doesn't want to let the Golden Rebel get too far away. Still got over 1.25 miles to go, though, and still over a circuit to go. This will be the last next time around. The Golden Rebel jumping a bit better now in front. He did take a bit of chasing to the bridle to get going, but now he seems to have found his rhythm. For Keelan Woods, he needs a length clear. Fantastic Ass is sitting in second place. They're up past the stands. They have a lap to go in this Class 2 event.
Interesting. It is interesting, this Fav, the way you watch him ride, Posty. You know, for a horse that's got a bit of lazy ways. He's either one thing. You think, is he a bit keen, or is he? I don't know.
He's just got quite an ungainly way of going, Dave. I don't think he's actually keen at all. But he's even
they
to
say
jump,
he carries his head a bit high.
Yeah, exactly. And
that is borne out.
Yeah, even to jump, he sort of dangles his legs a bit. He's not very neat and sharp with what he does. And I suppose, look, he's only a 6-year-old. He's a big scopy horse, and you're hoping he's going to sort of tighten up and sharpen up with time. But he's obviously also with a decent amount of ability, but he still looks very raw. And one more for the future, I'd imagine.
He's given £8 to Fantastic Ass, of course. How much will that count over the last two? Creeping a little bit closer is Leo Star as well. A massive price for Alistair Williams in our staying race. He's got Kaiser a little bit later on, well fancied by many of you. We're on the far side then, Enzo. We're going to start ripping up soon.
Yeah, you've got about 6 furlongs to go from here, so there's not that far to go. Still 3 to jump in the home straight. The Golden Rebel's in front. He's going to have to try and kick on, isn't he, Keelan Woods, in a moment? Try and use some of that stamina. He's leading up to 3 under through 5. Is in second place now. Fantastic Ass is still there on the inside to shake of the reins. Looks like Born Patriot's going better than he was about half a mile ago. He's now cruising up into it, actually, for Richard Johnson up on the outside, the Irish Raider. But still the guns are all travelling well, the big guns, aren't they? Fantastic Ass just dropping in behind to fourth there. He's ahead of Tidal Point.
Is the leader feeling it a bit now, Posty? Do you think, Golden Rebel?
Well, I mean, look, he hasn't been gifted a freebie at all, and Keelan Woods is trying to sort of chiv him along, getting him to stretch round this bend, as we saw Brian Hughes do when he won the Triumph Hurdle Trial in the previous race. But right now, it looks like the Fantasticus and 3 under through 5 and the Irish Raider look to have him covered at this moment.
Yeah, could Born Patriot spoil the party then? He's not been asked a serious question, but the favourite, now he's being asked. He's about to take it up 3 out. Sam Twiston-Davies covering the move, Enzo.
Yeah, Fantastic Ass gets the inside run. 3 under through 5 and Fantastic Ass together at the third last. Looks like the Golden Rebel has shot his bolt now. Leo Star is next, but the favourite's going well now. 3 under through 5. He's got a length clear for Adrian Heskin. Fantastic Ass is trying to come back at him on the inside. Looks between these two now.
Yeah, £8 between them, don't forget. One stays, one we're not sure about. Bunny hops
through 5, yeah, slight mistake. Sam's got a chance here, isn't he? On the inside. Fantastic Ass is a player.
I think this favourite's got plenty under the bonnet. It's whether he produces it. Last jump.
Last hurdle, 3 under through 5.
Oh, he's winged it.
Fantastic Ass is trying to come back at him, but it's 3 under through 5. Who's now just on top by a leg for Adrian Heskin.
He's talented, isn't he?
Fantastic Ass is going to finish second, I think, yet again in his career. He's trying one more time, but it's going to be 3 under through 5. Another winning favourite today for Adrian Heskin, who wins this race again for Paul Nicholls and the McNeils.
Sam Twiston-Davies, he absolutely work in progress. What a talent he could be if he just gets his mind on the job. He's having a look all over the place there, to my eyes, Posty.
As Barry said, he carries his head a bit high. Like I said, in running, he's got an ungainly way of doing things at the moment. He still looks like a horse that, much as he's a 6-year-old, that he's very much physically and mentally immature, and there's a lot of furnishing still to do. And you'd imagine chasing in the autumn is probably going to be the making of him. Would I fancy him as an Albert Bartlett contender now? I think it'd be a year too soon for me.
Yeah, fair enough. I think Paul Nicholls, you might. This is the type of embryo, isn't it, that Paul has. I love the way that he came up when Adrian Heskin was reining him, wasn't he? You're quite impressed with him there.
Yeah, I was impressed by him because I thought he was in trouble just jumping the second last. But he's a big horse and he's looking around a bit, isn't he? There's definitely loads under the bonnet there.
And the runner-up, probably no mug, is he whatsoever. He's got some decent form. And Sam Twiston-Davies is still, even though he's half a length down the line, he's still giving it to him.
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
1-2-4 could be a workable mark for Fantasticus. As in it might be interesting to see what they do with him. Again, he looks like very much a chaser for the future too.
Theoretically, if you think they've run to their marks there, the handicap will
that
probably
could be
give him another couple of pounds. So, you're looking at definitely shy of 130 anyway. That is interesting, isn't it? Something like I don't know if you've got time to qualify for the EBF or something
Still
like
maiden,
that.
isn't he? Fantastic.
Yeah.
He must win a hurdle soon, you'd imagine, with that ability.
Yeah. Yeah, for the Imperial Racing Syndicate as well. Nigel Dave really enjoyed that race, actually.
I don't know. The second could be a bit of a monkey. He's been beaten at 25-1 on. He's been beaten at 204. He's been beaten at 204, and he's beaten there. I think he traded short there at 2.10. So the winner gets into the he's in the Albert Bartlett betting, and he's 16 from 25 off the back of that.
Okay, well that is interesting, isn't it? Pouring a little bit of scorn there. Big hitter from Betfair, Barry Orr. Looks at the data, not the head carriage. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Yeah, a bit of an Oliver Twist horse then. Fantasticus. How many seconds do you want? We must move on. It's back to Leopardstown for the 240 there. A massive handicap coming up, wide as you like. I just want to give you some quotes, if you don't mind. Not coming from the track. I'll tell you what, it's kicking off on the live racing news desk. We have this Google Hangout chat thing that, you know, all the news as it's coming in and what are the stories are hot on that. It's kicking off about that treble earlier on. And, the first leg is in, the next race is about to be run at Southwell as well. But Graham Rodway cannot have appreciated whatsoever. A slow old boat was mentioned.
Really?
What?
But on this thread. And Maddie Plale, another shrewd old judge out there, is saying something. There's got to be something in the Supreme to beat
What,
him.
though? Where?
What?
What, Metier? Come on.
Well,
that's
if-
it.
I mean, you could describe Graham Rodway as a slow old boat. I don't know if I'd appreciate it. If I'm honest.
The old Grey Matter's a bit of a slow old boat, G-Rod, isn't it?
Crikey.
But listen, he's looking at what he sees, and he was 11-4 going into it, 9-4, wasn't he? I said, I'm surprised he's not under 2-1 so far. So, very, very interesting. Get your comments in. Slow old boat, says Graham Rodway about. Appreciate it. 13-8, Willie Mullins. First race of the day at Cheltenham on the Tuesday. Wins.
massive
Will
bank
they
on
run
it.
a 4-year-old? That's something Maddie Plale is asking. That's an interesting question. French Seal's been mentioned.
Yeah.
We saw it with Fakir Duderis, didn't we, a couple of years back? Yeah. It just was. I wouldn't judge him totally on that. I wouldn't say the ride was bad on Fakir Duderis. He just got lost at a crucial point. I guess that's the problem, isn't it? Really, with a 4-year-old going into it, you've got to.
He does look a stayer, doesn't he? Appreciate it to me.
What's
He
the
looks
last
like he gets
4-year-old to
2.5.
win the Supreme? I think this is one that I remember. I think I might be wrong. People out there are screaming at the telly or either furiously looking up. Was it All Loire?
It's going back a bit, isn't it?
Oh, crikey. Yeah, I think you could be right.
Might be All Loire.
Yeah.
I usually do the Betfair preview, but as I'm doing it again this year, I'm doing the chases this time. I usually do the novice hurdles, and I usually write bidding to be the first 4-year-old since All Loire. Are you checking it?
I'm checking it now.
You're
Did
fact
Binocular,
checking.
Binocular got beaten it as a 4-year-old, didn't he?
He
Just
did.
got beat.
4-year-olds can run really, really
Yeah.
well. Binocular did. What did they
Captain
have that year
Seabee.
for the- Captain Seabee, of course.
Yes.
We must go back to Ireland. Was it All Loire? We think 4-year-olds. Could a 4-year-old come out of the pack and fancy their chances somewhat? Could they split up Calixios and Zanahiyr? Interesting. Anyway, great stuff at Musselburgh. Another fav goes in. Will another fav go in here, Barry? Pure genius. Finally showed his true colours for Ted Walsh last time and JP McManus. He was the favourite when I last looked.
Yeah, and first time in a handicap, Simon Torrance, who's rode a winner yesterday for them for the green and gold. He's your 6-1 favourite, 7.0 at the moment, 9.2 Damalisk, another JP horse. Julie Stowaway with Philip Enright in the plates, being a real springer in the market for Mags Mullins, was 27 on the exchange, backed all the way into 8.6. The horse I like in it is City Island, ex-Ballymore winner. He only went off a 14-1 in the stayers last year, would you believe? He was beaten 16 lengths by Bacchusson last time out. That form was franked by Bacchusson during the week. That was off the back of a 294-day break. I think just at his price, he'd have a decent chance in the race. So I'm going to have 25 quid win and 25 quid place on him. We're going to take 5 places. And he's a fancy enough price as well. So in the win part, he's 50. So we'll have 25... 50, or we'll have 50 to 1 to 25 pounds him, and then in the 5 places, so additional place market. You know what I was trying to say there, lads.
Well,
I've one eye on Southwell here to see what's happening with this job. In the 5 places market, then 25 quid in it there as well.
Well, we had to go right down the list for that, Barry, and it's surprising given the colour of the horse you're mentioning.
He's below
isn't
the
it?
fold. Yeah, he's below the fold. He's a Ballymore winner. It didn't happen for him when they sent him novice chasing last year. He was favoured for. Well, he was well up in the market for the
Hated
Arkle
defences,
and
didn't
for
he?
the
Hated
RSA.
it.
Hated defences. Took a bad fall one day.
Yeah.
Never right since that. Obviously, he's had his problems as well, but Jenny, if he showed any sort of form, I think he's still at 147. His mark of 147, he'd still have a chance.
Ooh, I wonder if they're looking at a decent run here for something like the Coral Cup or something like that, maybe. Yeah, he's very interesting, Martin.
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
So again, loads of clues here. All these horses that get beaten into third and fourth in these races, and not just because it's a Pertemps qualifier, of course, it's not, but they do getting them right for the one day, isn't it? Anyway, it's pure genius for me. I thought he would do. I wasn't expecting him. I thought he'd be about second or third favourite. I've got to say that. But he finally showed what he promised in his early years. And Ted Walsh has probably had one eye on this. Last time out, winners have done really well in this race, is what I have to say. Posty?
Koshari for me.
A last time out winner.
Yeah,
we saw at
been
Cork.
off a really long, 875 days off the track. Had enough time to get over it.
Yeah.
And the fact that Paul Townend, it's his pick of the Mullins battalion in this. So.
Paul Keeley likes that in his Sunday Sizzlers as well. Paul Keels is close to Rich Ritchie and the Brigade as well. Is that a tip in itself? Enzo, who's going to win?
Yeah, I'm with you. Pure genius. Love the step up in trip I wrote last time out. Got it right over 3 miles. And Simon Torrens is good as well. £5 off as well is going to help him, isn't it?
We're tipping the Graham Rodway horse.
Did he have
Pure
2 winners
genius.
yesterday, Simon Torrens?
Yeah, as Barry said. Yeah, no, he's a decent little rider.
Yeah, good rider.
Claiming 5, yeah. Going places, I think, as well. So, what happened at Southwell, Barry? We can't see in here.
I'm still watching it. The favourite was bustled along early, but yeah, he's in fourth. It's a 1.5 mile race, so
Yeah, okay.
still going on here.
There's some half fancy.
I'll let you know if it wins. You'll hear.
I'm sure we will. There's a few traders on there. Let's go for a quick walk in the snow. Yeah, I'm fine. Absolutely, the pressure's on here, I think, and after the first leg one, as you liked. Okay, listen, this is going to be fast and furious. Love this 3 mile handicap, but they're going to bustle for that early position. Pure genius for myself and ends Kashari for Charlie Post. Yeah, he's a nice horse, Kashari, and a real flyer for Barry Orr, who's having an absolutely sterling weekend. Take a price about City Island, a Ballymore winner. Beat Champ, of course, saw off Champ up the run in that day. It was a fair few quid for him, wasn't it? Of course, it hasn't gone right since. Champ, we're hoping, will come out, all being well, in the Denman Chase next Saturday. Could we still see a flyer for the Gold Cup there?
6 Willie Mullins horses in the race again. He's extraordinary, isn't he? He's really going for this race as well. Kashari, then Charlie Light. We were working that day, weren't we? That Cork race that Kashari won.
Tracy Inescorthy won this race last year. And Barry put that up, didn't he? Of course, when that one at Cork, Tom Segal thinks that will repeat meeting. It's running over fences a little bit later on, isn't it, on the card?
Yeah, I think Blowing Dixie's going well at Southwell anyway.
Is it?
It's absolutely salute.
So say this goes in, Dave. Will there be a few bosses on the phone to traders being like...
There are a few traders right now getting a little bit hot.
Maybe not yet.
Oh, okay.
Hang on.
They're off and running at Leopardstown. We'll find out what happened at Southwell. But on into the lead. Which one's this? It's the McManus 6 string, is it?
It is Pure Genius, isn't it? Who's gone on to the front. I didn't think he'd lead, but he is. It is going to be Pure Genius on the run down towards the first hurdle. They've got plenty to jump here, haven't they? 12 in total. So the favourites in front early on. To Frontal Assault, that is, who's up there in second place as they jump the first hurdle. Just in behind is Damalisk, who was well fancied as well for this race. He's right up with the pace. Behind Damalisk, racing a little bit wider, is Chavi Artist as they settle down. Looking further back in the first, another Willie Mullins runner just in behind. The Maze runner, that is just off the pace. Another McManus Cap. I can see Morosini not far away, heading towards the next. I can see the Rob Core colours, Heroes of Renown, further back in the field for Rachel Blackmore. But still quite a few being held up. Obviously, the red McManus Cap further back at this early stage as well. But up front, he's now just getting a bit of cover, isn't he? Pure Genius. I'm surprised he wanted to make the running. Frontal Assault's gone on now for Jack Kennedy. Leads by about a half length on the run towards the third hurdle here, Dave.
He did he make all when he won by 52 lengths of Punchstone last time? He did make all. So, again, yeah, they just want to be up there, don't they? Frontal Assault with the first time blinkers on. Gordon Elliott bounced back. Can't keep a good man down, can you?
Kashari, bad mistake, though.
Kashari whacked one, did he,
Yeah.
Charlie? What, right out the back?
Yeah,
isn't he?
he's four, well, three from the back now, but he made a bad mistake there. Paul Townend fired up in the saddle.
I'll tell you who else catches my eye. City Island in midfield. Any move on him, Barry?
I'll have to scroll down here, Dave. I'll have to scroll all the way down. City Island's into 40. So not significant. Damalisk is your 6-1 favourite and running along with Frontal Assault, who's 6.2. The horse that we just saw of Fahy's who disappointed that Richard Johnson rode over in Musselburgh, that's Frontal Assault form as well. So can't see how he's shortening so significantly.
Okay, that would be interesting. You know, loads of Mullins horses in this Maze Runner, of course. Low Sun, that was a classy runner in its day, wasn't it? So look, lots of back class that could come to the fore. But at the moment, it's the 2 last time out winners dueling up front, Enzo.
Yeah, front to assault leading for Gordon Elliott. On the inside is Ted Walsh's Pure Genius, about a half length away. Back in third is Xavi Artist at this stage. Is racing ahead of Articulum, that is, in fourth place. Damalisk is travelling quite well just off them as they head down towards the next. Julie Stowaway, another one that's moving quite well just off the pace. And then as they head towards this next hurdle, Plinth is another one of the McManus runners in the race as they jump that one. Seo's towards the back, one of the Willie Mullins contenders, along with the Kashari is towards the back as well. But up front, the favourite is leading, isn't he? Pure Genius. He's going quite keenly, but it's a nice way of going about himself, this horse. I like the way he travels.
I think he's going to stay no problem, isn't it? We know that. Julie Stowaway, you mentioned, Barry, as well. It's a little bit disappointing. She hasn't won this season, hasn't she? But they're rolling the dice in handicap company. She's got no weight on her back.
Yeah, there was plenty of money for her, although she's hit 19 in running now, but she seems to be travelling well there. There's a whole host of them travelling well, really, Dave, isn't there? But it's still 5 to 1 to field in running.
What you got to love about these 3 mile handicaps, I know it's on a big Premier card, Posty, but they're quite strung out, aren't they? No messing about.
No, I mean, look, they seem to have gone a pretty fair gallop the whole way. I mean, we've got the favourite in front, stringing them all along by Authorised, and like you said, there's plenty of space, and I can't see there being hard luck stories in this race.
Okay, all right. Well, out in front,
well in front, isn't he?
The McManus runner, Pure
I'll be
Genius.
happy with him at the moment.
Is he doing a bit much, Posty? He's definitely enthusiastic.
He's got an enthusiastic way of going, but I mean, it doesn't look like Simon Torrens is unduly concerned by the fact that he's making the running on him. It's not like he's trying to take him back or anything. I think he's probably got him in quite a good rhythm right now, and as we've seen throughout the card over the weekend, being up and near the pace is not a bad thing.
Absolutely not at Leopardstown, quite right. Damalesk is catching my eye.
7th or 8th, yeah, going well.
We're around about 4 out, then 4 or 5 out, aren't we?
5
And
to
now
jump,
they're starting to come up the pack like a concertina. They're closing.
They're trying to close him. He's still got a nice lead, though, isn't he, in front? Pure Genius. Leads by a couple of lengths. This grey son of Authorised. In second place, Front to Assault, has always been in the vanguard. Jumping this one. Anything Will Do is in third place. Good jump from the leader. Xavi Artist is fourth. Damalisk is on the inside. Julie Stowaway is out wider for Philip Enright. And then behind those, we have Walk to Freedom. Maze Runners further back. Arverne, Plinth, all in the ruck at this stage. And then in behind is Downtown Getaway, another Willie Mullins runner, who's well back in the field ahead of Walk to Freedom. Heading towards the next. He's jumping well in front, isn't he?
Yeah.
Nice little horse this in front. Very tidy over the hurdles.
Walk to Freedom's catching my eye for Conor Orr and Jesse Harrington. And on the inside, Maze Runner, another one of these. He's going to need to get a run, but he's got loads of horse underneath him. City Island gone to the back. Yeah,
City Island's just dropped off them a bit, isn't he? And Kashari's another one who's still in rear as well. But this leader's still going all right, isn't he? Pure Genius. I'm not put off at all by him at the moment. Here's the last down the back. This is going to be 3 out, I think. And he's flicked over that by 2 lengths still. So Anything Will Do. JJ Slevin in second place. I think Front to Assault might just be struggling a bit. He's back in third. Damalisk is creeping closer in fourth.
Dandy Mag catching the eye a bit with work to do.
Yeah, the grey Seo's on the move as well. Another one of the Mullins battalions, Dave, out very wide. But I tell you what, this leader's going well at the moment. He must be shortening in the betting, I'd say. Pure Genius.
Yeah, Barry, 2 to jump.
Now, Enzo.
6 to 4.
Listen,
4.7 Damalisk, so it could be another JP 1-2 and a handicap at Leopardstown this weekend.
If he keeps on going with these closes
Should he kick on now, Simon Torrens, or not?
100%.
He's got to kick. There's just a 2 out crucial. He's got a little bit slow there.
He wasn't as good at that flight, was he? But he still leads.
Maze Runner's the danger.
Maze Runner is making ground in behind for Conor McNamara. Now what's he going to find in front, this grey? Still leads Pure Genius, but maybe he's in a bit of trouble because he's been passed, I'm afraid. Maze Runner's coming. Damalisk is coming. Anything Will Do is right there as well.
Maze Runner's got to be short.
Is absolutely loving life at the moment here on the outside, cruising. Maze Runner for Conor McNamara, and the Mrs. Mullins colours has gone past Anything Will Do. From the back, what's that staying on? Unexpected Depth is running on, isn't it? From a good bit back as they head towards this. Here comes Unexpected Depth. He could be a player for Barry Brown. Here's the last. Maze Runner, Unexpected Depth. Looks a huge danger on the outsides between these two. Unexpected Depth is trying to run down Maze Runner. Maze Runner's got a bit left, I think, though. Maze Runner's going to hold on and beat Unexpected Depth. Damalisk is back in third place. They finished well strung out, but Willie Mullins wins it with one of his 6, Maze Runner.
Wow, he can walk on water, can't he? Yes, he throws 6 darts, but where did that come from? A horse that looked last year like he might be, have a big pot in him, lost his way slightly. I called him on, in the run. He was on the inside post, wasn't he? Nowhere to go. Expertly got through. This is what you want to do at Leopardstown, attack off the home bend.
Without question, a really good ride there and a big day in the sun for is it Conor McNamara?
Yeah.
Yeah. So and it just shows with these Willie Mullins horses, isn't it? Like any of them can win. I mean,
In the
Kashari
missus'
actually
colours.
is worth watching back. Made a bad mistake early, and then Paul Townend sort of accepted his fate, but he actually did make some late headway
yes.
to sort of creep into the back of it. And I do think there will be another day in him if he cuts out the errors.
It's a strong form race because running on into third was Damalisk there, wasn't it? And he was well treated under a penalty. I think he's run well because it was only 9 days afterwards. So 2 horses way ahead of their marks, unexpected depth.
That's run well,
Again,
isn't it?
yeah, he
Not
hasn't
like
got that many miles on the clock because we're going to look at some nice chases of going forward as well. But once again, attacking off that home bend. What was the story of the race then, Barry?
Yeah, unexpected death trade at a low 1.31, so 3-1 on. The winner had a Betfair SP of 54. Very famous colours, it's them of Jackie Mullins. I think Tourist Attraction might have ran in those colours.
Yeah.
You might correct me there, but the winner gets a quote. No, nothing doing there for the winner.
Unexpected Depth is qualified for the Potemsos, and he was third in the qualifier behind Dandy Mag last time. Marker 141 in Ireland, definitely get in. I don't know.
Yeah, very interesting. And seamlessly, that takes us to the next race at Musselburgh, which is a Potemps qualifier, 2:55. Did you know that was coming, Posty?
Look,
this is a little
seamless
of
transition. You'd think we'd worked together before.
learning the game, absolutely. We're all still learning the game. This is a really tricky race, I thought, the 2:55 at Musselburgh. 2 more races at Musselburgh to come. The Great White Hope, third time lucky, goes in the 3:25. But now Kaiser looks like he might be favourite here, Barry. A horse that's really shown his colours over hurdles this year.
Yeah, and that's the horse I was fancying in the race. I put that up earlier in the 2:55 in Musselburgh. I just thought he'd be a straightforward back bet. I thought Prince Kaif has been off for a long time. So definitely worth the pose. It wasn't a race I had a very strong view in, but with Kaiser, we're just going to have 50 quid win on him at 4.7. Obviously beaten a half a length by Navajo Pass, but he stayed on well that day. Obviously Navajo Pass has gone on and franked the form since. It was 2.5 miles. He's off for 120. It's his first time stepping up in the trip, but I'm hopeful that he should bring out a bit of an improvement in him. So 4.7 with 50 quid on him to win 185 quid.
Thank you very much, Barry Orr. And you have time to react to Barry's play. We're showcasing the exchange view, showing it how it works. Barry's target has been pretty much bang on this weekend, hasn't it? And giving Kaiser's the horse you expect to be there or thereabouts. It's just whether I want to back Kaiser ever
Will he stay?
under
I'm
4-1.
I'm worried about the trip a
Well, he's
little
a
bit.
stout stayer on the level, isn't he?
3.25 miles.
It's worth a go.
Yeah,
but in
not
getting
certain.
weight from pretty much everything, all bar Nick Guard as well. Which one, you obviously don't see that like Barry, the bull big.
I've gone Prince Kaif, but he's drifting a bit in the bedding.
I've gone Prince Cave
I
as
think
well.
I think he'll stay all day. I watched that win at Newcastle. The ground was hot deep that day, and he really battled on well. I'm not too worried about the layoff for him.
Seen the horses he beat that day at Newcastle?
Some good ones, wasn't there?
Imperial Alcazar, one of the favourites for the Potemps.
Who's won one of these, yeah.
And in
one of these
third was
qualifiers.
Espoir de Romay, who is one of the best handicapped novice handicap chasers out there at the minute, for Kim Bailey as well, and Duke de Grisay as well, back in fourth. And listen, if he comes back to that form, I think this is all over for the rest of them. But he hasn't been seen, quite rightly so, since last January. So pretty much this time last year. Of course, most of the race was off last year after that. So I wouldn't hold that against him too much. It was over 2 mile form when he got beaten under a penalty. But if he comes back to form, Keith Dalglish had a couple of horses run really well at the meeting yesterday. He'll do for me. I'm taking a chance on the fitness. Certainly at that price, he'll do for me. Posty.
I've gone for Nick Guard. I mean, slightly worried about the James Hewitt form, but I like the fact lightweight. I think he'll stay very well, and it was more a speculative choice, if I'm honest, more than anything. I just couldn't really ignite myself about anything shorter in the betting.
Yeah, okay, so small stakes, if play at all, race for Posty. It is one of these sort of like, you wouldn't be surprised if there was a turn.
No, Keeper Hill was a horse they rated quite a bit, didn't they? In this, when he went chasing, didn't quite work out of the fences.
He ran all right at Market Raisin, didn't he? I just wonder whether the not will to win is
weight
still
as
there.
well, isn't he? Yeah.
On the blind side, of course, that form. I mean, he's the class act in the race, isn't he? And they're on a quick double, the McNeil family, aren't they?
Well, Mount Muse
has
was
been
another
back,
one.
yeah.
I mean, he was very highly regarded at one stage. I mean, he was second to Grade 1 at Aintree novice hurdle, wasn't he? And blinkers didn't really work in the Lanzarote.
Ran so bad though, didn't he, Kempton last time?
Yeah.
It was a funny race, the Lanzarote hurdle, wasn't it? Half of them hardly turned up, did they? And No hiding place, the horse that beat him at Carlisle the time before that. If he returns to that form, I could sort of see it. He's, like you say, the back class is all there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. But like things haven't been straightforward for Mount Muse, in all honesty, since those very good novice hurdle days.
Yeah, okay, keep your social media comments coming in. We know you're loving the show out there. We're loving having you with us. Myself, Dave Orton, Tony Ennis, Charlie Post and Barry Orr, having a great weekend so far.
Just to say, Dave, that horse won in Southwell, so the first two are up, and it's all going on to the last leg in Musselburgh, the last race in Musselburgh. So
we're talking Frankie Dettori Ascot time, aren't we?
It's hard to believe that the Dublin Racing Festival is not taking centre stage over Musselburgh today.
Wow, that's Gallagher's Cross, isn't it? Is that the last one?
Yeah. Gallagher's Cross.
Even
It's
money
4-7 now.
Yeah.
If you're going to pull off a treble at some away meetings, do it on the big weekends. That's what they say, because the eye is often drawn. It's like a magician, isn't it? Pulling it when you're not seeing. So, yeah, what price is this Gallagher's Cross now, Barry? This thing in the last?
He's evens, but he could go off 4-7, 2s on. Who knows? It's a Fujiyama crest sort of moment for a lot of them, I would say. The prices are so big, and a lot of the firms, I think working it out with one of the firms that's named after the day of the year, I think with Best Odds Guaranteed, it's paying 10,000. It paid 10,000 to one with them. So you don't need to have a lot on at those sort of prices.
No, you don't. I'll tell you what, there's a gamble on that. There's a gamble on Kaiser developing as well, Barry. We've not been matched, I have to say. Do we want?
What do we do now? Chase it.
We've not been matched. There are people that are reacting to Barry, of course, that are saying, I'm on. But Barry, your trade is not on. What do you want to do?
No, I'm happy just to leave it then. I don't like chasing prices down. When you have in your head a price that you think a horse you would back it at, and I thought that was around the 7-2 mark, I wouldn't be a backer at 11-4.
Yeah,
there's a little bit to go before off time as well.
Never chase. No. Never chase. There's always another race.
I mean, Gallagher's Cross, obviously, last leg of this treble was a 260 grand pointer.
Henderson's, wasn't it?
He was then, sold out of there for 42 grand in May 2019. And he's dropped £25 in his half a dozen runs since.
Barney Curley would be proud. It's one of those. Listen, place your horses right. It's the game.
Funny, that's a name you should mention.
Yeah, well, there we are. Yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to call him the Whirling Dervish.
Yeah.
Remember that great flat horse for Jeff Ragg? Whirling Dervish is the second favourite here. Johnny Levens, first time him. Aidan Coleman on. I wonder what Aidan's comments were to Nicky Henderson yesterday about Santini, the first spin he had there. This is fancy. We haven't really mentioned him, have we? Gav Cromwell used to have him.
Yeah, he's definitely got a chance, isn't he, of running well. This favourite, though, is very short now, as you say, isn't it? Kaiser, this is heading to... Is it just because all the favourites are going in? People are kind of just...
It's been a great weekend, hasn't it? The favourites are
Jump on the bandwagon.
Everyone's happy. We're coming out of lockdown soon. Absolutely. Life is good again. This is what we want. So look, if you follow him, Barry, it's all about the Kaiser. He's not chasing the price down, though. This is one of those races where we might just see a turn up. Let's see how they're going to jump off. They're all fine. Tony Ennis.
Yeah, long way to go. They start that little shoot, which is into the home straight at Musselburgh. They're going to pass the line 3 times here, taking 15 flights. A lot of jumping to be done in his 3.25 mile Pertemps Network Group Handicap qualifier. Heading towards the first. Kaiser's right up there. Keeper Hill is up there too, the former chaser, back over hurdles. Nick Guard is handy. These 3 in the snow at Musselburgh head towards the first flight. Whirling Dervish settled nicely in 4th by Aidan Coleman. Is ahead of Chapel Style. That's Ryan Day on board for Nicky Richards. They race towards the first of the hurdles. Kaiser lands in front. Looking towards the back, Prince Kaif, Tax Me If You Can, and right towards the back, Mount Muse, put to sleep by Brian Hughes at the back of the field. A few lengths off them, actually, Mount Muse. Is he all right there at the back?
Oh, let's not give a word with Posty on that. He's obviously quite an exuberant horse, isn't he?
He's quite an exuberant horse. Brian Hughes' hands must be freezing. The only rider not wearing gloves.
Is that right? Oh, there you go. How many gloves did you used to wear on
Never
the
used to wear them. Didn't like wearing them.
Is that right?
No.
I'll tell you what, the way you moaned about being left out of the studios before you came in today, you WhatsApped everyone saying, I'm outside. He came in, he was absolutely
I thought it was punishment for laughing so much about Ricky Johnson yesterday. I was like, after the 20th minute of standing out there and hypothermia setting in.
These jockeys are supposed to be tough of nails. Brian Hughes, according to Charlie Post, is. All right, let's go back to the run because, I don't know, Prince Kafen, we're on him. He's just a little bit rusty to me so far from my eye.
Yeah, a bit sticky at one of the hurdles, wasn't he? They've jumped 3 so far. They've got 2 complete circuits to go. 3 down the back at Musselburgh and 3 back in the home straight. So 12 still to jump. Long way to go. And about 2 miles 6 to go from here. Kaiser in front by a half length. Nick Guard is handy for Rachel McDonald racing in 2nd place. Now Keeper Hill just drops back into 3rd under double-seeking Adrian Heskin, his racing company with Whirling Dervish, who's right there on the inside. Then comes Prince Kaif, who is now a little bit keen, isn't he? Mount Muse is pulling his way up on the outside as well for Brian Hughes as they jump that hurdle. And then towards the back, that is Tax Me If You Can, the other straight-line bloodstock runner for Keith Dalgleish. But up front, still going all right for Kaiser, isn't it, at the moment? You'd be happy enough at the favourite?
Yeah,
He's jumped all right.
Well, I think if you're on the fav, you're on the inside, Charlie, aren't you? Is where you've wanted to be so far, pretty much.
He's completely happy at the moment. I think he's jumped pretty well from hurdle to hurdle. And Sean
Nick Guard's
Gordon's
gone all
very
right
happy.
with him, though. Rachel
Nick
McDonald.
Guard is racing with plenty of enthusiasm as well. I mean, look, there's a heck of a lot of racing to unfold yet. And as we were concerned about Mount Muse early, he's now in a midfield slot and travelling very strongly.
Chapel Sight's a horse that was really easy to back with Nicky Richards and Ryan Day. You often find that when Nicky Richards got one and Brian Hughes hasn't gone for it. I know he's obviously got the right, retainership at Donald McCain's, of course, but they do tend to be a bit easy to back. But I just wondered whether the track was going to be sharp enough for him. But he's got a lovely sit just tracking Keeper Hill at the moment. What were we expecting from Keeper Hill here? I'll tell you, at Musselburgh last time in that classier race when he ran, he just hit a flat spot, a crucial stage for him. The old Keeper Hill probably wouldn't have done that. So I want to see something with his merit, I think, here today. But certainly classy for this race.
That was when he was third in this same race last year, yeah. And £5 lower today, isn't he?
And of course, top six, get into the final.
He's making plenty of use
Could
of
that be the
Kicking
plan
on
for
here, isn't he,
Prince
Dick
Cave?
Berry? Yeah. Kaiser just suddenly, all of a sudden, he's kicked on a few lengths.
This is he cannot have far enough on the flat. He'd get 4 miles on the flat,
Yeah, so you think he'll stay all right. He's kicked 4 clear now of Nick Guard in second place, Whirling Dervish in third. Mount Muse I wouldn't be happy with. He sort of pulled his way up and now he's sort of dropped back again. He's in behind Chapel Style. Tax Me If You Can's the back marker. Prince Cave
He's
is
going
back
all
in the
right
field.
now. I'm just warming to his chances again, I think.
Kaiser's leading. This is the middle one of 3 in the home straight. Flight 8. Remember, they've got to go round again still. 15 flights to take. It's only about a mile and a quarter round, isn't it, Musselburgh? Quite a sharp track. So heading towards the flight will be the last next time around in the snow. And it looks pretty freezing up there too. Keeper Hill's now getting a bit closer again in second. I think he's just dropped anchor a bit on Kaiser though, isn't he?
I think it's a good move by Adrian Eskin, this. Like I say, don't give him a chance to think about it, and just if something kicks, he's covering everything, I think. We know he stays strongly. It's not a problem for him, is it?
Nick Guard third. Chapel Styles made a place, gone fourth past Whirling Dervish. He's a bit keen now, isn't he, towards the back, that Prince Cave. Mount Muse has run a strange race, hasn't he? Sort of run up on the outside, improved. Now he's dropped back again. They're on the all-weather part of the track now, which takes them towards the back straight. They're heading towards the final 9 furlongs with 6 left to jump. Kays has kicked on again on the flat. He's 2 lengths clear of Keeper's Hill in second place.
These are a great innovation, these all-weather bends, aren't they?
Yeah.
On these sharper tracks. It just gives
Batch
you,
was talking about it to us, wasn't he,
it just
yesterday?
saves all the churning up of them with racing on the grass, and it just gives you so much more grip.
Yeah.
Kempton, Fontwell, Musselburgh.
Saves meetings as well, doesn't it? So many meetings
Fontwell,
have been off.
it's been a great innovation at Fontwell, hasn't it? Yeah.
I don't think it'll save their meeting on Wednesday, sadly, but it
When's
has
the
worked.
National Spirit at Fontwell? That's got to be coming up soon, isn't it, on a
a couple
Sunday?
of Sundays, isn't it? Yeah.
Love that race.
Up front, still Kaiser leading to a length to Keeper Hill in second. Visibility not great, is it? Chapel Star's gone third. Back in fourth, Nick Guard. Then comes Mount Muse. He's on the move again. He does this, doesn't he? Down the back straight, he makes up ground very wide.
Wow, yeah, he's really taken off.
Whirling Dervish is next over that one. Kaiser's just in front from Keeper Hill still. Then Chapel Star has made ground throughout the last circuit. He's now third. Mount Muse on the move again fourth. Whirling Dervish fifth. Nick Guard on the inside. Then comes the 2 straight line horses towards the back. Prince Cave Prince Cave went through that a little bit. Tax Me If You Can is the back marker. Kaiser still narrowly in front, but
Nimble jump from Kaiser there, I thought. Barry, we're around about 5 out. What's we saying?
Yeah, 5-2 Kaiser now. It's 3-1 Keeper's Hill, 4-1 Whirling Dervish, and it's 8 bar them. 11-4 Keeper Hill now, and 11-4 Kaiser.
Lucky I'm not doing my maps again, Posty, isn't it? Because I'm pretty sure we're going to 3 out.
Yeah,
now.
3 out, go running down the 3 out. Yeah.
You should have seen me with the railway fences
railway
yesterday at
fences,
Sandown.
yeah. The railway hurdles at Musselburgh are coming up now. Yeah.
3 out then. This is where stamina's really going to hurl. Here comes the Whirling Dervish. Absolutely loads of running under him, but
will lead us go well, isn't he, Kaiser? 3 left to jump. Flight 13 is next. Kaiser leading. Keeper Hill's under a drive now. What will he find? Whirling Dervish is the improver.
Tax Me If You Can's not gone for it yet
I think Kaiser's going best, though, isn't he, at the moment? I want to be on the one in front. I think Kaiser at this stage is going really well, and we know he's
Freeze on the one in front, ends up.
Oh, it's Kaiser. Oh, come on,
Kaiser
it's
through the
poor
globe. I can see him
visibility.
in
This is
front.
where you
I
need to
can't-
earn your corn,
I
man.
can't see, but I can see Kaiser's just about in front still. Keeper Hill's trying to run back at him in second place. Where's Prince Cave? He's made a mistake back in 5th place.
He's trying his best, but it's too late
Oh,
for him.
Kaiser's under pressure now. Can he see this out?
Oh, Keeper Hill's even money now.
Keeper Hill's going to try and challenge him.
Oh, boy.
Kaiser's going to find, though. It's not over. Kaiser and Keeper Hill.
Jumped
Here's the
it
last.
beautifully. Go
Kaiser
on,
jumped it
Kaiser.
better. I think Kaiser's back in front again from Keeper
Tax
Hill.
Me If You Can's
Tax Me If
there.
You Can is still running on.
Yeah.
It's still
Kaiser's clear.
Kaiser.
Kaiser's
Oh,
clear.
he's
He's
away
had
at gone.
Charlie Post thinks we're just making drama up. I'll
Tax
tell
Me
you
If
what.
You Can's running on a bit, but I think Kaiser's going to
Unbelievable,
hold
he's
him,
going to
is he?
get gubbed.
Kaiser, Tax Me If You
Oh,
Can.
no!
Mother of pearl, he's clear, absolutely. You've done a Dave Orton there, my man.
He was clear at the time.
How many
I
zeros
said it.
did you put on him jumping the
He was
last?
clear at the time I said
Taxi,
it.
if you can, has got up extraordinary. Must have been chaos in running.
Listen, and we picked him up turning for home. I said, Taxi if you can's not gone for everything yet. He came from last to first. A horse that has really been a little bit disappointing, it's got to be said. Connor Farrell has produced him absolutely peach. Barry, let's go to you. What happened in running Carnage?
The winner hit a high of 500 in running. Now, there's only a quid matched at that. A quid matched at 450. Another quid again at around the 400 mark. And then you're into 150 for a tenner, 140 for 12 quid, 110 for 15 quid, 95 quid at 100. The runner-up, 108, 12 to 1 on for 316 quid. So I think that's, in all the time I've been doing the Racing Post Live with you, Dave, that's the shortest price in running we've had, a 108 and a 500 to 1 winner.
He was
But,
last
when
to
you
vote,
say
wasn't he?
Remarkable scenes.
Amazing. Stone last he was, still here.
He's done absolutely nothing wrong. He's winged the last as well.
Kaiser, yeah.
Sean Quinlan, of course, taking risks fame in the Sky Bet chase. Must have thought, I've got another nice one here. I'll tell you what, he's run a huge race to runner-up, hasn't he, really?
He has. He's done a lot
he
of
broke
hard
Keeper
work,
Hill,
hasn't he?
didn't he?
Yeah.
This is what I mean about Keeper Hill. He looms up. As Barry said, he went to evens. For me, it's just an old horse now. I don't know, the moment you ask him for absolutely everything.
There's nothing there,
Head
is there?
goes to one side
Yeah.
a little bit and...
I feel sorry for Kaiser because he's had to beat off Keeper Hill. He's had to beat off Whirling Dervish.
Yeah.
He's done all that, hasn't
I'm
he?
looking
Yeah,
for the eye catchers because Prince Cave for me wasn't. I'm not going to say wasn't given the hardest time, but he's definitely thinking just get sixth here because you know that he's run all right actually. He's not. He's just going through the motions really. And so we've got 1, 2, 3.
Just
Whirling
curling up a bit
Dervish
now, isn't
running
he?
on again.
Just tired.
Nick Gard in fifth and Prince Cave. Yeah, it's
the only
something
thing
of an
that-
eye catcher.
I mean, he won 2-8 there. If he gets dropped 2 or 3 for today, is he struggling to get in a potential?
You're struggling to get in, but you've got time to get a win into him after this, I think. haven't
Yeah,
you?
true.
I don't know. This isn't a horse you would imagine that would bounce. When we talk about the bounce factor with a horse coming back off a layoff or a break and then running again fairly quickly, it's when they've run a fairly decent figure, that's when you think they might bounce. If they look like they want the run, you wouldn't be mind seeing him out again before another target here. Look out for Prince Cave, I think, next time out.
Good neck in the end, wasn't it? Better neck.
Yeah, we've got to go, of course. 3:10, we've got to go because it's
The monk.
It's the monkfish. It's time to sink or swim for the favourite backers again because monkfish comes out. Ding, ding. Latest exhibition, round 2. Is there anything else that can see them off according to the market? I like one at a price for a place, but first, let's go to the man who knows, Barry Orr.
Yeah, so Monkfish is 1.52, 2 to 1 on, strong at that as well. 11 to 2 latest exhibition. Can't see how he's going to turn around with him. Stable companion of the favourites, Asterion Falange, 11.5, 13.5, Andy Dufresne. And I was going to say Dufresne there, but I'll give him his correct name. And it's 45 bar. I'm going to lay Asterion Falange in the place market here now. The place market, there is 3 places because there was, it's 3 places here. So he's currently, Asterion Falange to lay is currently about 2.18. I'm happy to do that. I want to take 50 quid of the backer's stake at that price. I just think this is, now I know he's won around Leopardstown. He won on this card last year, but it's so pronounced sometimes the way he jumps out to his right that I think it's really going to affect him here. And he's off the back of 2 falls, which I don't like either. Patrick Mullen takes the ride. I'm sure the first thing they want to do is get him around safely. And anything happens after that is a bonus. So I'm happy to take him on at 3 places here at the price, just a little over even money for 50 quid to lose 59.
It's a classy lineup, Barry, isn't it? And he is, I think, at under 2s on. That's definitely shorter than I thought he would be. Okay, all right. So Barry, showcasing the exchange. He's had a great weekend. Happy to put a target on Monkfish's back. Didn't he jump, Charlie Post, when we saw him at the Christmas meeting, when he saw off latest exhibition? He showed something. We saw it in the Albert Bartlett sizzling form last year. He's tough as well.
It was a cracking race, the Leopardstown race at Christmas, wasn't it? Because latest exhibition sort of loomed up to him as they turned in, and then Monkfish went away, jumped with aplomb. He looks very sure-footed. I'll tell you what I'm going to find interesting in this race is how does Patrick Mullins ride Asterion Falange? Because you can't imagine that Willie Mullins is really going to want him going out in the lead, jumping violently right, and with 2 falls already with Monkfish following
You don't
him.
want Monkfish behind him, do you? The
You
first.
say that he jumps violently right. I mean, obviously this was down to the Supreme when we started thinking, oh, hang on a minute, he's got issues here. But
Okay,
he
well,
won on this
he
card
has it
last
in his
year.
repertoire to jump right.
I tell you, repertoire.
Yeah.
I asked you to dig deep there. You did. The Theosaurus didn't let you down, did
No,
it?
not at all.
So look, Monkfish.
Yes.
I'm not. I expect him to win.
Yeah.
I thought Fidu Dairies, who chased home Envoy Allen, albeit getting weight, was a very interesting horse for the festivals after he won. Was it Nace he won? I think 2 back. And
He won at Navan 2 runs
Navan,
back,
2
and
back.
then second to Punchestown to Envoy Allen.
They fancied him that day, and this just looked like a horse that might turn up in the festival plate to me. He's a 6-year-old. I like him in the place market. What is Fidu Dairy for Joseph O'Brien, the 6-year-old in the pack, Barry, in the place market? This is the way I want to play this.
Yeah, he's 4.3, Dave. So 130 you can back him at the moment. Looks a tasty enough price.
Yeah, it is. And for that Envoy Allen form, he ran right up to his mark there, 142, 143, I think. And there's more to come from him. I think this track will suit him a little bit better as well. Envoy Allen form for me, I think, will be advertised in this. I think Monkfish really want to see something special here. The fact that that with Royal Pagile, Tony Ennis's nap of the entire festival in the Gold Cup,
Yep.
coming up at Cheltenham, the fact they said we won't take on Monkfish whatsoever, it shows you what they think of Monkfish, doesn't it, I think? And I expect him to win. What did you think, Enzo?
I think you're really. He's drifted a bit though now, isn't he, Monkfish? A little bit worrying this, isn't he? He's just got 166. What's happened there, Barry?
166.
He was
Yeah, he's
153 when I last
166.
looked. Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
listening.
and he's actually, you're bang on, yeah. Would this be, what way do you think this would be run, Enzo? Like the latest exhibition, do you think he'll stalk him this time and try to do him with just one run? Or
I watched that race again when he beat him in the Neville Hotels, Barry. And there was a moment, wasn't there, going to the last when he looked like he almost had him. Well, not had him, but he was almost upsides him.
Latest Exhibition is such a nice horse, isn't
Yeah.
he? He must be to have anything to do with. He's a slugger. He is.
Would they try and get in front of Monkfish this time rather than trying to?
I don't want
backrun
to say
him?
he's Ricky Johnson's to AP McCoy's rider, but first time tongue tie for Latest Exhibition, we should say here today as well. He won at the meeting, of course, Latest Exhibition. He won the opener, the 2 mile 6 hurdle last year. So they're both dropping in trip. It's going to be a test, isn't it? Andy Dufresne is. It should be more to come from him. Is he a little bit overlooked as well?
Nice
Yeah,
race, yeah.
Asterion Phalange is the one that you just. It's just like, you know what I mean? You couldn't back him each way, could you? He's just one of those. What are we going to see? We know he's got the back class to do it. Patrick Mullins found out he was riding as we were talking to him actually on Friday, and he said, "Am I riding Asterion Phalange, lads?" And we were a bit like, "You are," but he was actually utterly delighted to be on it because he knows.
I
he's
think from a
real
riding
classy
point of
horse.
view, though, it's like a no-lose situation. Like the horse has had 2 falls already, so you get him round and it's a positive.
They are going to change tactics with him. That was the other thing that Patrick said.
So they are? Yeah. They're going to drop him
We'll
in,
get
are
him
they?
to the second last and see what he's got.
But so like he can go out there with like a free rein and
It's a free ride.
yeah, exactly. You know, and just see what happens. And as you've said, there's no doubt he has the class to be involved if he can actually put together a round of jumping. But
what
now,
does
that's
he
a bit
need to
it.
do, Charlie, in terms of jumping out to the right all the time? You know, how can they put that right?
I mean,
can they do that with schooling, or is it just something in the horse's head?
It's in the horse's head. I mean, the difficulty, Barry, if you were looking at it trying to be a bit of gamesmanship, ideally, if you were Patrick, you'd like to line up down the inside and have horse on your outside and try and get him straight over the first few, because it is a habit they can get into. And you might think if you can get him straight over the first half a dozen, it's a possible.
But is there anybody would want to be
Exactly,
on his outside
but that's the
on
problem.
a left-handed track?
Completely. Everyone knows what he's going to do, so that no one's going to want to line up on his outside. His other option is he takes him right to the outside of the track and uses the outside wing to try and keep him straight by saying, look, I know you're going to go right, so I'm going to take away your ability to go right by going right down the
Which
outside.
at Leopardstown isn't
which you
so
can
much of a
do
problem.
at Leopardstown,
Yeah.
especially on soft ground. So it's going to be very interesting. You'd imagine it's going to be a bit like Richard Johnson on Sporting John yesterday, that he's going to try and school him round through the first half of this race, see if he can get him warming
Then
into
use
a
his
rhythm,
class.
and then try and use his class. It does bring a really interesting angle to this race.
This is an absolute
There's money for him
belter.
as well.
Is there now? I was going to say, Barry, are you surprised that Latest Exhibition is as big as 9-2? I mean, you know, that's
Well,
fair.
he was bigger than that, Dave. He was bigger than that earlier on. You know, there's money for
back-
latest
back in
exhibition. That's why
Asterion,
the
isn't it?
favourites on a bit of a slide. They're back in Asterion Phalange and
Back in
latest
Asterion Phalange a
exhibition.
lot.
Like, yeah, there's latest exhibition was as big as 13-2. You know, he's into 9-2 now, and the favourites just on a little slide, 2.62, with still odds on. Obviously, 9.4 Asterion Phalange. So they're back in Asterion Phalange and latest exhibition against the favourite.
Absolutely belting
And I think
race.
what you will see is Patrick Mullins will make very positive decisions going to his fences. If there was a criticism the last day, Danny Mullins kind of changed his mind at the last moment.
They are off and running, and he's keeping it simple.
Straight
We
to
know
the
he
front.
stays further. The Fish has gone swimming to the first.
Monkfish jumps to first. His old rival is in second place in his Slipstream latest exhibition. That was the first of the 14 to take in the Flowgas Novice Chase, another Grade 1, 2 mile, 5.5 furlongs. So Monkfish has gone clear here. As you say, stays 3 miles. They're going to make it a test. He leads 4 lengths. The latest exhibition, who's in second place, Andy Dufresne, has just dropped into third as they head towards that fence over on the far side. That's the regulation, I think, isn't it? The second. Just in behind them is Assemble, who's racing on the inside. Janadil Magaloni is towards the back of the field. The steering for Longe has been okay so far. He's a little bit keen maybe on the outside, but he's jumped the first 2 without any mishaps. He's got a lot further than he did last time. Third fence is next on the side. Lovely jump from Monkfish again.
Oh, he jumps, doesn't he, this boy?
He jumps well. He leads latest exhibition by a few lengths. Back in third, Andy Dufresne and Mark Walsh. Janadil is next, the other McManus runner for Willie Mullins and Rachel Blackmore, racing in fourth place. Steering for Longe has been kept wide. Out of trouble, the grey, to get a good view of the fences. He's racing ahead of Fidou Dari. And then on the inside is Assemble, and towards the back, Magaloni, as they race towards the fence in the straight. That's coming up next. And Monkfish at the moment going nicely in front. Ears prick, jumping well.
He absolutely is. Yeah, he's got a great big head, Charlie, isn't he? He's a whopper of a horse.
Well, they always say that big ears is a sign of genuineness.
That was Henry Cecil's thing, wasn't it?
If that's the case, then Monkfish is very, very genuine because he has got big old lugs on him.
Yeah, and I tell you what, he loves the game. If a horse has been made for fences, you think that Energamine was the one you draw. This guy just looks absolutely the real deal. The current Festival Novice Chase, what we used to know as the RSA. What will be the ripples after this? At the moment, catch me if you can. Keep it simple. I'm on the best horse, says Paul Townend, and off I go. How's the market reacting, Barry, then? Around about halfway.
Yeah, he's 2's on now, 148 and thereabouts. Latest exhibition out to 8.8. A steering for Longe out to 11. Charlie was spot on what he do with him. Keep him out to the right-hand side, to the wing of the fence. And favourite shortening again.
Oh, we lost one
we
there.
lose Assemble. Assemble has gone, and we lose Magaloni, I think, as well. 2 out the race there.
2 falls in a row then for Assemble. Where's my Fidou Dari? He's making a move.
Monkfish by a couple of legs. Fidou Dari's gone second, Dave, at the moment. On the outside, Andy
like him.
Dufresne is quite close to the latest exhibition. Over that latest exhibition, a little bit sticky, I thought there. Steering for Longe is the back marker now. 2 loose horses behind. Janadil just dropping in behind. So only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 horses remaining of the 8 that set out. The jockeys are up, which is good news. JJ Slevin and Sean Flanagan. Meanwhile, it's Monkfish bowling along in front by a couple of lengths as he heads on to that final circuit.
Yeah, and again, this is just a carbon copy of what we saw at the Christmas meeting in the Neville Hotels with his old rival latest exhibition. Are you a latest exhibition fan? Did you give him the chance to see off Monkfish? You know what he's going to do. Andy Dufresne's still going well. Fidou Dari's, he's really warming up. Has he been a little bit keen? Asterion Falange, not really convinced so far. And Janadil's still in it. Now we're getting warmer. About 4 out. Tony Ennis.
Monkfish leads a length to the half cliff. Fidou Dari has jumped really nicely in second. Latest exhibition is back in third. Andy Dufresne yet to be popped the question in fourth. Janadil in fifth. Asterion Falange is the back marker of the 6 that remain in the Grade 1 Flowgas. Here's the next on the far side, Monkfish. Latest exhibition jumped out a lot better. Fidou Dari is next. Andy Dufresne is now on the inside. Mark Walsh
He's
is
gone all over the place, isn't he, on
He
him?
was out wide a minute
Why
ago.
is he doing that postage? Keep him alert, is he?
In all honesty, I'm not sure why he switched around. I mean, I don't know if he switched out initially because of the fallers at the fence away from the stands, and now he switched back to the inside to try and get that inside run in. But in all honesty, I'm not quite sure why Mark Walsh has gone from outside to inside.
Well, he's Andy Dufresne now giving up the inside to no one. They're all going well. All to play for them. 4 out.
Monkfish, a length and a half clear from his old rival, latest exhibition in second. Fidou Dari is still there. Andy Dufresne racing away from the others on the inside. Then comes Janadil, and Asterion Falange is still in the race, albeit the back marker of the 6 that remain. Heading towards the next down the far side. This is Monkfish, the last on this stretch. He's over safely.
Janadil's gone.
Janadil's gone.
He's
Rachel
up on his
Blackmore.
feet quick.
I think she's all right. She's just sitting up. Monkfish a length clear. Andy Dufresne has pulled his way up into second, travelling well for Mark Walsh and Gordon Elliott. Latest exhibition just squeezed along, but he's now gone back into second place. Fidou Dari is next, and then comes Asterion Falange.
Monkfish has gone up a gear here, guys.
Yeah, he's currently put some pace to the race now, isn't he? Latest exhibition is the only one who's trying to go with him. Andy Dufresne back in third. Asterion Falange into fourth, past Fidou Dari.
Yeah, I think it's a funny performances from Fidou Dari so far. Talk about this afterwards. But at the moment, the big 2, Barry, they're squaring up. They're on last on the far side. What's the market saying now?
5 on Monkfish.
Wow.
10 latest exhibition, 14 Asterion Phalange.
What about Andy Dufresne? He's
coming
still
back
coming
again.
back
He looked
on.
like he was going to drop out for a minute, and then he seems to be coming back a
12
bit.
to 1 chance.
They're going in with one to jump, and
Asterian's
Enzo.
coming,
This is
isn't he?
class, isn't it? Look at Asterion Phalange. He's not off the bridle.
Monkfish leading by 4 lengths. Latest exhibition's under pressure. Likewise, Andy Dufresne and Asterion Phalange. But
classy.
Monkfish is travelling well. The run down to the final fence. Tell you what, though, latest exhibition wants another go at him. He's about 2 lengths behind. Here's the last for the fish. At the final fence, jumps it well. Latest exhibition is switching to try and challenge up his inside. Monkfish by 3 lengths, so he's got a handy break. He's still on the
impressive.
bridle.
This is
Oh,
very
we saw
Gold
this
Cup winner,
fish.
this, isn't it?
Wow.
Oh, he's different gravy. Monkfish, look at this. 5, 6
said it
lengths
last
clear.
day.
He slammed latest exhibition this time. He was harder work last time. He could be anything. He goes to the festival surely as one of the bankers now.
Oh, there we are, Charlie Post.
Wow,
You
that's
are
I mean,
Place money.
choking. Yeah, fair play, Barry. Fair play, Barry.
What's
the place
immense,
money's in.
you never see him meet a fence wrong, Monkfish. For a big horse that can be sometimes synonymous with being a little bit ignorant or clumsy, he's got so much nimble and athleticism about him.
What a horse that is.
Throughout that fence, what was he, Enzo said, 15 fences or something like that, he never met a fence wrong. Every
Perfect.
fence he met in stride, you know, as in he's so well balanced and so measured with what he does and the ability to adjust.
Yeah.
It doesn't even look like Paul Town then has to do anything to put him on the spot. The horse almost measures it all out for himself. He's mightily impressive, and for all that he was a good hurdler, he's an even better chaser, isn't he?
And the way, I mean, whether Asterion has really stayed is open to some debate, but he was still going well. He's put himself back on track there, Asterion Phalange, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Which is
massively.
good to see.
Yeah.
And Andy Dufresne left trailing in his wake off the home turn. I mean, we know latest exhibition is a Grade 1 horse, and this is absolutely different
But
gravy.
his superiority over late exhibition is getting bigger. Like, you know, do you not think? I mean,
He's
it
a
was-
good
it was-
jumper as well, isn't he, at latest exhibition?
He's a lovely
everything
horse,
you
and
want in a
there's
horse.
going to be a big pot in him. But
Yeah.
the biggest
Slaughtered
issue for
it,
him
didn't
right
he?
now is Monkfish.
Well,
Because
the fact that Fidu Dairy was still there, he's done a little bit too much mid-race for me. The project, I've got this Fidu Dairy project in me. I'm just worried about the trip for him. But Mboyan, look, he ran well behind him. I just think he did a little bit too much too soon for the race. But this is a strong form race going forward. All of these horses would not look out of place in the top races. But have we just seen, I mean, we're going to see like a presenting Percy type RSA performance now at the festival. What price is he, Barry, for the festival chase on the Wednesday?
11 to 10 from 7 to 4 off the back of that. Yeah, really, really impressive. I think myself, yourself, and Tony were on the show last day he won in Leopardstown, and he really blew us away because the runner-up, latest exhibition, had a go at him that day, and he just went on by him again. Do you remember when, after jumping the last, and he did mark himself as a really, really good horse, and he's just proven it again there, and he's just another short price favourite for the Cheltenham Festival now. If you're a layer at the Cheltenham Festival, you're going to have some fun.
They're mounting up, aren't they? They're mounting up. We know he's won the Albert Bartlett. When was the last Albert Bartlett winner to go and follow up, over fences? You usually see him going for stayers hurdles and things, don't you? So this is a huge boost for the Albert Bartlett. Time hell out of it. Latest exhibition was there, we know as well. Obviously. Wow, let's get some social media comments up on the screen. Who's coming in? Joe Holden back on the screen. Gold Cup next year has the potential to become one of the best. Hard to disagree with that at all, Joe. What else have we got? Hugh Masson on best staying novice since Denman. I wonder when Denman was going to get a comparison. Hugh's just made it. Commander von Roerich, regular contributor. I'm convinced there's nothing going to touch Monkfish for 2 years.
he is Denman-esque though, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
I mean,
Size.
and Bobsworth was the Albert Bartlett winner that followed up in the RSA.
Fair play. This is. I mean, Bobsworth. Gold Cup.
He won a Gold Cup as well,
Of
yeah.
course
yeah.
he did win a Gold
I mean, this
Cup.
horse has got a load more physical quality than Bobsworth. I mean,
Yeah.
Bobsworth wasn't an overly impressive horse to look at.
But we're not going to take him on with Royal Pagile.
Rich Richie's
Won't
got the
come
best-
off the bridle in the Gold Cup, according
I'm
to
glad Royal
Sayers.
Pagal's in the Gold Cup this year. And not, of course, he'd win the Gold Cup, wouldn't he, this year, Monkfish, on that?
Coney Green.
There's an argument. If he
would
wasn't
win, wouldn't he?
favourite, he'd be second favourite, wouldn't he?
What would beat him, to be
This
honest?
is the shouts you get here on Racing Post Live. You think this would win a Gold
Oh, he
Cup
would. He'd win
now?
it this year. He'd win it this year. Wouldn't
Yeah.
he? He'd win it standing on his head this year, wouldn't he?
Wow.
I mean, Rich Richie's got the best two staying chasers, Royal Pagal and Monkfish.
Absolutely amazing, is it? The Mullins, it's just go. How many winners has he had today then? That's, what's that, another 4? I'm trying to count them up. The guys in the gallery might get on to me that. We've got to go to Musselburgh because we've got a really good race coming up here.
3,
You
I
see
think,
Posty's
minutes
starting
from
to get a little bit warm under the collar with this one. You can see this means a lot for his business. But listen, we've just seen Monkfish. It's a seriously hot form race. Absolutely has not disappointed, has it? At all. And we've got to go to Musselburgh. We've got one more coming from Leopardstown, just a small matter of the Irish Gold Cup coming up. Let us know who you like in that. Will it be Delta Work repeating his win in the race last year? Unseated, of course, at Christmas. Manila Indo, first full. Is he still a player in the Gold Cup market? Goodness gracious me. Or will it be Mellon atoning? No more deserving winner anywhere this season if Mellon wins that last race that we've got coming up. All right, so we've got to go to Musselburgh because it is the Supreme Novice Trial. Third time lucky. He'll go on the ground, says Charlie Post. He'll go to the Supreme, says Charlie Post. He'll win, says Charlie Post. What price is he, Barry Orr?
Definitely didn't.
He's 2-1-0, so he's 11 to 10 to back, and he's 2-1-2 to lay. 2-1-0 now to lay as well. I'm just going to take him on for 50 quid. Going to take 50 quid at the backer stake. He's 3 for 4 since last March, and you know he would have probably been 4 for 4, but for pleasure that day in the November meeting in Cheltenham, got it. Remember, he went off a mile in front of me. He did the donkey work to try to get to him. He traded short like he was going to get to him, but he just couldn't get him before he ran out a winner. I suppose I just think there's a lot of horses in it that have a chance. There's Bareback Jack, who was impressive in Catterick. Belfast Banter's not without a chance. Sextet, who won in Carlisle, is not without a chance as well. He brings some good platform to the table. Tommy's Oscar is a nice horse as well. And I just think I'm just going to take him on for small money. He's 1.91 now, Jamie, just as we speak, 1.88. So take 50 quid at the backer stake at 188. I'll be happy with that.
Okay, so this even money is certainly under pressure. Has Rob Lee in this gallery put it on? Keep bet. Not missed that in my ear today, I can tell you. Yes, he says. Millwall's put the bet on. Happy days. All right, so he's going into odds on. What has he got to do, Charlie Post?
What has he got to do? He's got to win, hasn't he? You know,
come on.
Look, I mean, what was good to see last time out at Kempton was Harry was able to ride him a little bit more handy. He's been a keen going horse, and they had to drop him in all the time. It was nice to see him be a bit more adaptable the last day. I mean, speaking to Dan, he says that he's quite a light-framed horse, you can see from the TV, but Dan says he's actually put on weight through the season, which is normally a real positive. It shows that he's thriving. I mean, he's still a horse with a massive future irrespective today, but we want to see him win and win nicely.
He could have, of course, gone to the Betfair hurdle, but this could be just one that might give Appreciate It something to go on to. Graham Robbo will certainly be hoping it that he comes through this. You're a big fan, Enzo?
Yeah, I think I like this horse. I fancied him on Boxing Day. He won so easily at Kempton, as you say. I think the track will be fine for him. He's got a lot of speed. It is a speed track as well, isn't it, Musselburgh, even though it's riding on the testing side today. Interesting to see what Brian Hughes does with Bareback Jack. Will he try and pop him out in front, maybe?
When he won at Catterick, we were watching a replay, and I said, Charlie, you know what? He's unbeaten. This horse got a mark of 92 in his Irish Point, didn't he? He's going to want to try and draw the sting, I'd imagine.
Without doubt. I'd have thought if you're Brian Hughes, you're going to look at Third Time Lucky and feel that he's more of a speed horse than Bareback Jack. So by the nature, you're going to use the ground and try and go and set pretty searching fractions and try and draw the stamina out of Third Time Lucky, I'd imagine.
I'm just looking at the previous winners of this race going down it. Fred won it last year for Nicky Henderson. We'd go on for that. Beyond the Clouds, remember him for Kevin Ryan in famous colours there. Nicky Henderson's won it a couple of times, actually. So, look, this is a horse that we're hoping will turn up at Cheltenham in the right sort of form to give Appreciate It something to think about on the opening day of the festival, the opening race of the festival. But it looks like the way they're lining up, indeed, Bareback Jack and Brian Hughes will say, catch me if you can. The line is up. Over to Tony Ennis for the call.
Yeah, Bareback Jack, as we thought, goes off in front in Tim Leslie's colours for Donald McCain and Brian Hughes, the champion jockey, looking for a double. They've got 9 to take this time, just under 2 miles for the Scottish Supreme Novices Hurdle. Racing in second is Tommy's Oscar, who was a winner at the track last time out. Back in third is Third Time Lucky, the favourite, black and white for Harry Skelton and Dan Skelton. It's looked good so far, 3 out of 4 this year. Sextant, lightly raced over hurdles, is racing back in fifth. Very good horse on the flat, wasn't he, once upon a time for Sir Michael Stout. Then
and the Queen.
Yes, Her Majesty the Queen owned Sextant back in the day, now owned by Straight Line Bloodstock. Towards the back, Democratic Oath, the other Keith Dalglish runner, and in rear, pulling his head off as well, is Scott's Sonnet, as they race towards the next hurdle in the home straight. The line of 3 here, 3 down the back as well. Bareback Jack, as expected, in front, but Third Time Lucky, I guess he'd be happy just to take a lead.
He's pinging them so far.
Yeah, I mean, he's just happy to take a lead. I mean, Harry's almost, he'd probably not want him to go and wing hurdles. He's almost landing up sides, Bareback Jack, and he just wouldn't want him to get lit up too early.
Has Harry Skelton been down to school horses like Dave Bastard? We got this great story yesterday, Enzo, just quickly, that because of COVID, etc., all this sort of lack of auctions. Kim Bailey came down with Dave Bastard to school 6 horses over fences at Posties last week, and literally, Kim Bailey said it's like a young boy taking a driving test going at 90. It's like
No, he said it's like when you go into a car showroom and you take it for a test drive. You wait to get round the corner and the car salesman can't see anymore, and you go flat out, don't you? He came up the gallop flat out on 6 different horses. I had to close my eyes. I was lucky enough.
I imagine Skelton would be that sort of character as well, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he'd be quite a forward character as well. Yeah, you know, as in they're big believers in the things that they do. So, yeah, no, I mean, Harry actually hasn't been down to ride out at ours recently, but we have quite a long-standing relationship with them. We've had a few nice horses end up in the yard. I mean, this lad is by far the best, so hopefully he can go on to even better things.
4th in the champion bump up last year, and he's tracking his main market rival, Bareback Jack, as they go on to the far side. Barry Orr, is the market moving at all? He was long into odds on.
Yeah, he was a bet for SP at 203, so just a little over even money. He's trading now at about the 11 to 10 mark. Bareback Jack is trading at 3 to 1. It's 9 to 2 Tommy's Oscar and 14 bar.
He's really keen, Brian Hughes, isn't he, not to go too quick? He's holding him back.
Yeah, it's interesting that he's playing it like that. I thought he might have tried to make it more of a search and test, but he's almost trying to make third time lucky keen, it seems.
Third time lucky, gave away a penalty, of course, at Christmas time. Level weights so far. Tommy's Oscar, a horse that Paul Keeley absolutely loves for the Hamiltons. £11 to fine, though, with third time lucky on the book. Could Sextant be the one? One despite pulling at Carlisle on his hurdling debut. Loads of scope. We're going to the third last then. Now they're going to start trapping. Tony Ennis.
Yeah, leaving the back straight behind them. 3 left to jump in the home straight. Flight 7, 8 and 9 in the Scottish Supreme Novices hurdle. Still Bareback Jack in front, a half length to in second place. That is Tommy's Oscar. He's just waiting in the wings, though, isn't he? Harry Skelton on third time lucky in third place. A couple of lengths then to find Sextant in fourth. He's going well, but Bareback Jack still has something left. Just being annoyed a little bit there around the turn by the horse on his outside, Tommy's Oscar. In line for home then, 3 left to jump. The leader still travelling. Bareback Jack for Hughes, but third time lucky is moving nicely on his inside now. Here he comes, full of horse as well, Harry Skelton. Just in behind them, trying to get into it to his Belfast Banter, who's been given a quiet ride
Got that
by
handicap
Richard Johnson.
form, hasn't he?
Heading towards the second last. Bareback Jack. He's going to have to fight for this, I think, third time lucky. Here's 2 out. Good jump, third time lucky. Bareback Jack's going with him, though. And they're away from the others now. Back in third place, under pressure is Tommy's Oscar.
Well
Race
clear.
on. Bareback Jack might just have his head in front still.
Yeah.
Bareback Jack at the last. The third time lucky, he makes a mistake. Oh, he's lost his
third
hind
time
legs.
lucky, nearly left it behind there.
And it's Bareback Jack in front by 2 lengths up the run. He's not the most straightforward, this leader. He's doing enough, though, for the champion jockey. Bareback Jack, driven out by Brian Hughes, will be doubles for Donald McCain and Brian Hughes as Bareback Jack remains unbeaten. Good run by Tommy's Oscar, second. Sexton might have got third. I'm afraid the wheels came off third time lucky after that mistake at the last.
We've seen a couple of work in progresses, some raw horses win. Bareback Jack, certainly that. Third time lucky. Was he just held at the time, do you think?
I think he probably was, if I'm honest. I think he kind of made the mistake because he was held, so a little bit disappointing.
Little bit disappointing. Yeah, we saw the chassis, didn't we, all the way round. Everything looked good. He went to the inside, maybe getting back on some slightly better ground. Has he bumped into one? He hasn't finished second in the end. Tommy's Oscar rallied as well. Belfast Banter came there, flattered to deceive. Sexton probably doesn't want that ground. He flattered out as well. We're watching this now. You can't leave your back legs like that. In fact, he's just had to look after him there, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, yeah. I mean, once that's happened, his chance is gone, and Harry's just minded him home from there.
Yeah, so all right, okay, not today for third time lucky. But now 4 from 4, Bareback Jack. More I look at Sexton.
He's idling in front as well, the winner, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
I mean,
there,
look,
isn't
let's not take away. I mean, it was a nice performance from the winner, and he
Yeah.
can do no more than be unbeaten.
Yeah, he was pested up front as well, wasn't he? I'll say the top 4 there have all got a big payday in, and watch back Sexton's run as well. He's learning his trade. He'll want a little bit further over the hurdles. I'd be with him at Aintree if he goes there, I think, as well. All right, great stuff. Barry, what was the market saying before we move back for the Irish Gold Cup? The final race here on RSB Live.
Yeah, just the third time lucky traded at a low 1.16, which is 6 to 1 on. Bareback Jack is 20 from 25 for the Supreme Novices Hurl, and we win another 50 quid. So we're winning 310 today for the Injured Jockeys Fund so far.
stuff.
With 1 to go.
That's a bag so far then, isn't it, this weekend for the Indian Jockeys Fund? Happy days. Great stuff there. All right, one more to come. As we say, sayonara to Musselburgh. Really, really enjoyed the action across the Scottish border. Has been fantastic in Edinburgh there. Another really good 2 days up there. Fantastic to see. Okay, we've got to go for the biggie though. It is the Irish Gold Cup. Delta Work bidding to win it for the second time running. Minella Indo on the recovery trail. Would you believe it? Last year's second to champ in the RSA. Ken Boy, he'll absolutely love it around Leopardstown, won't it? Will it be too soft for him? Mellon, what will they do with him tactics-wise? Paul Townend gets on as well. Barry Orr, let's go and have a look at the market. Minella Indo, short price?
It's a cracking race, isn't it? There's only 5 runners in it. Minella Indo 2.64, Dave. So just 13 to 8, 7 to 2 Kenboy 4.4, 4.8 Mellon, 6.4 Delta Work, and 24 to Storyteller. All 5 of them have serious chances. Even the Storyteller, he'll be ridden cold and might just pick up a few pieces. But I fancy Delta Work in it. It just hasn't happened for him so far this season. He was 5th to the Storyteller and Down Royal, and then he unseated Sean Flanagan last day. We all know that Jack Kennedy, how well he gets on with this horse, and they won the race last year. They beat Kenboy a length and a half, and I just think he's a horse that I've always really liked since he was third that time in the RSA back in 2019 behind Top of the Game and Santini. And I just think at the price, I'm going to have 50 quid win on him at 6.4. I think that's a really, really fair price. I love Minella Endo, but just after the fall last day, I'm willing to take a chance with him. And I think Delta Work represents the value in the race at 11 to 2.
Of course, when he came into this race and won it last year, Barry, he arrived on a win, didn't he? He was 5 to 2 that day, yielding ground last year. If you look at his profile, Delta Work, good ground, it's 1-1-1-1-1-1. I wonder if it's the ground why he's drifting slightly. And of course, he's got the U next to his name. No horse since Kempes in 2011 came in with a letter next to their name and won.
Yeah, that wouldn't bother me. The ground is a bit of a concern, but I don't think it's that bad at all. I don't know what the times are suggesting, but I don't think the ground on the chase course is significantly bad. So hopefully that won't be a concern for him. And like you know yourself, Dave, all roads with him lead to Cheltenham. That's the only race that they're really concerned about this year. And he's not going to get a hard race here should his chances be gone early. But at 11 to 2, I think he's a bit of value in the race.
Thank you, Barry. Sterling weekend for Barry thus far. You've got time to react to that now. Let's go down the panel then. It's the biggie of the weekend.
Yeah, I'm going with Barry. Delta Work for me as well. I think Jack Kennedy being back on board is a big plus, and we all know that he loves Leopardstown, so Delta Work for me.
Delta Work for Posty then. 2 ticks in that box. Enzo?
I'm with Minella Indo. Disappointed that fall, wasn't he, last? I'm not sure what happened that fall, because it was a really strange mistake, wasn't it?
First time against the big boys is what Henry de Bromhead said, but it wasn't like they were crowding up at him.
He was just on his own. Nothing touched him. He just capitulated on that. It was bizarre, but I'll give him another chance. I think potentially he's the most interesting still in the race. If you're trying to look for a Gold Cup contender to emerge from this race, it probably will be him. Would be great if Rachel Blackmore can win both the Irish Gold Cup and the Champion Hurdle. It'd be a big feather in her cap to do that.
Wow, yeah, absolutely. We said, didn't we, when Frodon won the King George, could we be seeing a Lady Rider taking out the Gold Cup? Of course, Rachel Blackmore, we thought would be the other big player there. Minella Indo bidding to get back on track. Honeysuckle, they took it out, didn't they? Team de Bromhead, the Irish Champion Hurdle, bigging for that big race double here. I like Mellon, who I'm just seeing go out onto the track. The more I look at this race, the more I can see him coming good here, I think.
Tactically, it's going to be very interesting, isn't it? Because it wasn't even that Patrick Mullins did anything wrong, but it was the way the fortune conspired that he ended up in front when he did. And I would have thought going back in, it would be one of those races he'd have loved to have had another go at.
Yeah.
You know.
When we 41 days ago when he faded into third in the Savills, of course, our social team said on Twitter, I think one word to describe Mellon. We had some great, responses. And the one that stuck out to me, I thought was a little bit harsh. Second, someone said, because he's got these close. Champion Hurdle. Of course, in the Marsh, if it's a photo finish, he's not had the rub of the green, has he, in them? And it was interesting. Speaking to Patrick Mullins, who thought he was going to ride him actually, but Paul Townend said, "This is my ride this time," and the stable number 1, of course. Can you ride him differently? The idea would be to ride him slightly differently. With Ken Boy certain to go on, I think. Minella Indo probably not far off. Delta Work, Stalking, Storyteller out the back. You've got scope to be a little bit different tactically. But when a horse jumps that well, Posty, you don't want to give it away, do you?
That's the difficulty, because you're going to sort of take away one of your main weapons, which is his very, very good and assured jumping. But I don't really see that they're going to have any choice but to do that if they want to try and find a different outcome with this with the 3 mile trip. And so I do think he's an interesting contender, and for me, I would like to see him ridden from off the pace. Like, as you said, it's only a small field, so it's not like he's going to have to forsake a load of ground to be dropped in today. He can follow away and still be a couple of lengths off the pace. But like you say, it's whether he makes some big jumps that takes him into the race, which will then make it difficult for Paul Townend to keep the lid on him.
Yeah, and of course he hasn't got the distance next to his name, which the rest of them have. But I think we can say comprehensively, after attacking 4 fences out last time, 3 miles is not a problem for him. What a wonderful horse Mellon has been for Joe Farrelly so far. And again, could he just be a player for a Gold Cup? We thought we'd be saying that when he was running in Champion Hurdles. But listen, all of these runners, Barry, it sums it up, doesn't it, when the storyteller is as big as, 20, 25 to 1.
He's not without a chance either, would you believe? This is going to be a very tactical race. It'll be interesting to see, will Kemboy take them along? Like, remember that famous ride that Davis Mullins gave him that time at Leopardstown at Christmas a couple of years back? Will they employ the same tactics? Will Mellon, he'll have to be rode Chile as well. Manila Indo is going to be up there. It's a fascinating tactical race, and it's hard to see. It's hard to see. You couldn't make a definite case for any of them that you don't fancy, that every horse has a chance. Any horse could win is what I'm trying to say in my stupid way.
Well, nothing's... Ordinarily, I'd be giving it some back, but the weekend you've had, Barry, I'm not going to do that. OK, let's get some social media comments up on the screen. What we got? Thomas Wilson joins the party, says, Delta Work, come on! Happy days. Oh, it's so exciting, this race, isn't it? And Kamara Sarath as well also says, Delta Work. So 2 horses on the recovery. Delta Work, Barry's not worried about the unseat last time, neither are you. You won the race last year, repeat winners of this race.
Quite a lot of them,
used to
aren't
be
they?
quite common.
Yeah. I mean, Beefle Salmon, Florida Pearl, Carlingford Lock.
He's got it up, hasn't he?
A lot of times.
I've also noticed you've been adding to your map.
Yeah, just marking in the regulation fences so I know which ones they are.
So when I actually call the wrong fence this time, you can give it.
Yeah.
You can give me some stick about it.
And you were right about Hall Loire, the last 4-year-olds.
It was.
Yeah.
It's all up there somewhere, isn't it?
Pretty
Amazingly. OK, so look, Manila Indo, I can see 6 to 4 now, Barry. There are lots of people that are on him anti-post for the Gold Cup at big prices, despite the fall last time. No horse has won this in the last 10 years, coming off the back of a fall. He's hardening up all the time, is he?
Oh, he's at the 7 to 4 now, would you believe, Dave? 2.78. So just on a little bit of a slide. Has been as low as 2.54 on the exchange. Kemboy hard at 3 to 1 now, 4.0. Mellon 4.4, 7.2. Delta Work at 23. The storyteller from 25.
Lovely stuff. OK, so this is the last race here on what's been a great weekend here on Racing Post Live. Let us know you've been enjoying it. Like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook Live. Keep your comments coming in. We do read them going forward. We'll be back, please God, next Saturday with the Betfair Hurdle. Huge day next Saturday, Barry, isn't it? Just quickly.
Oh, fingers crossed, yeah, Dave. All the doomsday scenario merchants are telling me there's no way the meet will be on. It can't be on. The way the snow's going to fall in England next week, this meeting can't be on. So fingers crossed they've got it wrong. But we haven't got a good record with the meeting, like we were saying yesterday. We have lost it a couple of years in recent years as well to Frost. So, fingers crossed that we get that fixture on, because it's a massive day, and we get to see Champ, and we get to see a whole host of other horses in the game spirit, like Altior potentially. So, yeah, hopefully it's on.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there a better chase track out there to watch your horses going around than Newbury other than Cheltenham? OK, so we're looking forward to that. We've got the Ascot Chase after that as well. We'll be back with you whatever's on. Don't you worry about that. Weather forecasts are always wrong, aren't they?
Yeah.
What did you call it? Storm
Darcy. Storm Darcy. Fontwell's gone on Wednesday already, by the way.
Has it already?
Yeah, already gone.
Wow.
Fontwell Park.
They go through the alphabet, don't they, with these storms? They're obviously up to
Back
D.
round to D again, yeah. But it's just a snow forecast, isn't it? And there's freezing temperatures, -3 overnight, -4 overnight. That's the worry, isn't it? I mean, there's a lot of racing in jeopardy. Huntingdon, big worry for that on Thursday already with flooding.
Would that be the race that... when's the Sydney Banks at Huntingdon? Would that be next week? Was that Mydrogo's supposed to go in there, isn't he?
It could.
It is.
Is it?
Sydney
It
Banks
is.
Thursday.
All right,
Well,
okay, yeah.
Might not be. Currently
Okay.
it's
I
not.
mean, Huntingdon's is Huntingdon not already, or it was underwater recently, wasn't it? So I
Yeah,
mean,
inspection tomorrow, apparently 4 o'clock. So.
and again, Fontwell will be off because of waterlogging, I presume.
Yeah,
like
it is.
But we saw it at Haydock, didn't we? They inspected
Here we
and we
go.
raced. Anyway, London Irish Gold Cup, they're off.
Here we go. This is it. The Irish Gold Cup, 3 miles and half a furlong. Then I'll make it 17 fences to jump. And Kemboy's been given an easy
Stolen a
lead.
fence here, hasn't he?
He's stolen 5 lengths, the boy, for Danny Mullins. Willie Mullins is going to try and win this race again. And he's jumped the first by a few lengths. 2 in second place, Minella Indo was safe over that one. Delta Work is next. The Storyteller is back in the field, and the back marker is Melon, held up by Paul Talent. Switched off today. He is last of the 5 as they make the run towards the second. It is Ken Boy who's out in front for Danny Mullins. Careful, but he's over clear to Minella Indo in second place. Delta Work, last year's winner, is back in third place, and then behind him is the Storyteller. That is his stable companion. And last of the 5 is Melon as they race towards the next. Willie Mullins won this with Bells Hill a couple of years ago. And he's got the leader, Ken Boy, at the moment. And he's got Melon as well towards the back. The Storyteller just fiddled his way over that one in behind. So the leader, Ken Boy, by a few lengths. Minella Indo in second place. Delta Work looking to add his name to those that have won this race back-to-back down the years. Carlingford Lock, the most recent in 2015 and 2016. Jumping that, he's got a good leader, isn't he, Ken Boy? 5 or 6 lengths over Minella Indo in second.
Like what they're doing with Melon, though. You know, he's the one I've had a little bit on, and it's just warming up now, isn't it? They've got that early exuberance out of him. I like the fact he's warming up. Rachel Blackmore doing what she does best, posting, of course, stalking. He got the ideal position, and you wouldn't have known that he would have fallen last time. He's absolutely winging them so far.
He's jumped very well. I mean, in all honesty, all 5 of the runners have jumped with very assuredly so far. As you've said, Ken Boy's been handed an early 5 length advantage that they haven't taken back yet, and that could prove decisive later on because it doesn't look like they're going overly hard through the first circuit.
He stays, Ken Boy, doesn't he? So brave to hold second, although he had a good old look at that one. Delta Work wasn't great there either, Barry. Let's go to you then. Plenty to play for. What's the market saying?
Yeah, Delta Work out to 12.5 now, Dave, off the back of this. Ken Boy into 3.6. Your favourite Minella Indo, though, is Hardened. Had a bet for SP at 288, 15 to 8. And into 2.26 now, which is 5 to 4.
I guess it couldn't be going better for fans of Minella Indo, could it, guys? Because no horses around him. It'll have to be an unforced error.
Jumped well so far as well, isn't he? After that 4 last time, looks like it's not affected his confidence at all. Minella Indo. He's jumped really cleanly and slickly so far. Here's Ken Boy. He was all right. Minella Indo in second. Oh, Melon a little bit tricky there. The Storyteller
Minella Indo
the
shifted right there, didn't it? Hampered sort of Melon, took his eye off the ball from that.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
a shift right in the comments from Charlie Post there about Minella Indo. But this is look guys, I'm on the stayer, I'm on the horse. We know that he loves going for the front. Ken Boy, he hasn't really turned up at Cheltenham yet, has he? But we know he was rated the best chaser around at one point?
Well, he won the Betway Bowl, wasn't it? 2019,
yes.
I think he won that, and he was really rated very highly after that. This is the 8th fence coming up. They've just turned away from the stands now. This little angle towards fences 8, 9 and 10.
Was this the one that caught Minella Indo out?
It was. Good
The
shout,
8th,
Posty.
yeah.
Let's see how he takes this one then as Melon starts to creep a little bit closer as well. Storyteller cold.
Yeah, tricky fence this. Ken Boy, Minella Indo. He's over safely this time. Delta Work is in third place. The Storyteller has gone the shortest way, and Melon is wide. Heading towards the 9th, another plain fence in the Irish Gold Cup. Still being led by Ken Boy, a few lengths ahead of Minella Indo and Rachel Blackmore, looking to do the big double of the Irish Gold Cup and the Irish Champion Hurdle over the same weekend. Delta Work is next from the Storyteller in 4th. Melon jumped on the outside and racing towards the next fence, number 10, on the side of the track. This is before they head down the back straights, turning slightly all the time now. That little left-hand move towards this fence, and the leader is Ken Boy. Not so far clear as he was. He's still 2.5 lengths to the good. Over in second place, Minella Indo, looking to get back to winning ways. Behind those is Melon, who's made a place, has just gone past Delta Work, who's now 4th. And the back marker of the quintet is the other Gordon Elliott runner, the Storyteller. So 2 for Elliott, 2 for Mullins. And De Bromhead with the favourite Minella Indo.
What does he do, Danny Mullins, on Ken Boy? When does he start to really go for it? Is it just a case of holding it? Is Melon now? This is where Melon's jumping comes into it.
I think Danny Mullins is he's had a very easy lead. He's in no rush to inject pace into the race right now. He's got box seat, as in that he hasn't gone quick early, and they've got to come to him. He's going to let the others come to him before he starts to lengthen from the front, I would imagine.
Absolutely fantastic. He's having a really enthusiastic pull still. Ken Boy, as Delta Work creeps closer. We're around about, what are we? Dare I say 6 out?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, over that one.
A clock is right twice a day, lads.
That was the 12th. 6 out. Heading towards the 13th then. Ken Boy by a couple of lengths to Minella Indo in second place. Delta Work creeping a bit closer again than the Storyteller. Oh, Ken Boy a bit sticky, I thought there. He's over safely though at that fence.
The pack is closing.
Melon's getting a bit closer. Minella Indo is travelling nicely, isn't he, the favourite?
Very powerful.
Be happy with Rachel at this stage. Heading towards the next fence, number 14 on the side. Ken Boy was better that time to Minella Indo. Delta Work has jumped nicely. Melon also. Still the cards yet to be played, really.
It'll be interesting to see what sort of a hard race Ken Boy and Melon had when they really start going. At this point, Melon is looking like he's going really comfortable. What does he find when they go for it?
Minella Indo's 5 to 4 on.
She's still box seating, isn't she? But Melon is all over it on the back, and Delta Work still not gone for it yet. Storyteller still cruising.
Yep, all 5 have a chance. They've only got 3 left to jump, 2 left to jump now. He's towards the fence on the side.
Wow.
3, yeah.
3 out, 3 left to jump. This is the final regulation, isn't it? This is the 15th fence.
Rachel's
Kemboy.
thinking about going for it here, isn't she?
This jump's important.
He thought about it.
All good. Good jump by the leader, wasn't it?
You wouldn't
Kemboy.
believe they've only got 1 fence to go. The way the jockeys are
2
looking,
out.
Josie.
Sorry, 2 to go still. Manila
Rachel
Indo's.
Blackmore niggling along.
She's come off the bridle there, Manila Indo, isn't she? Melon's now sweeping around the
Oh,
outside.
Melon, come on, what you got, Melon?
This is the second last, the 16th fence. Kemboy.
Get up, Melon.
Manila Indo.
We
Oh,
winged
Manila, a
it, Melon.
mistake. Mistake from the favourite. On the inside, the storyteller. Delta Work now just asked to improve as well. The leader's got away though, hasn't he,
Get to the one in
Kemboy?
front,
Yeah,
don't they?
keeping
He's
going.
got
Front
4
running
clear.
ride, this.
It's
1
well-
left to jump. Manila Indo in second.
Come on,
Melon now
Melon.
nursed
Storyteller
into the
sneaking
race.
into
The
it.
storyteller's coming. Delta Works caught flat-footed when they've quickened. Kemboy in front. He's not got away though. They're coming back at Kemboy. Manila Indo into second.
I reckon
the
he hangs
storyteller
on.
in third. Kemboy has a lead of a length. He does stay, doesn't he, Kemboy?
Yeah.
1 left to jump. This is the 17th and final fence. Here's the last for Kemboy.
Over it.
Jumps it well. Manila Indo looks tired now in second. The storyteller back in third. They're not closing at all, are they? On this leader. Kemboy driven
Wow.
out. Second place, the storyteller.
Yeah,
He's trying to run on a
Storyteller,
little
well
bit. Kemboy by a length and a half. Can he last home this time? I think he will. Kemboy for Willie Mullins and Dally Mullins. That's 4 on the day for the champion trainer. And Kemboy wins the Irish Gold Cup. The storyteller was second. Back in third was Delta Work, Manila Indo and Melon.
Kemboy puts himself back on track. Catch me if you can. Stacked him up on the far side. Broke Manila Indo when that one came upside him. The class has come to the fore. Handicapper said he was the best horse in the race with a rating of 168. Delta Work, was 170. Delta Work a little bit disappointing. We'll get to the fallout. But Posty, that was a stamina test. Perfect for Kemboy.
It was an excellent ride, though, wasn't it? You know, I mean, as a rider, you've got to try and take advantage of these situations. There was no other pace in the race. Danny Mullins was able to set his own fractions, didn't go overly quick. As we said mid-race, he wasn't going to try and stretch mid-race. He was going to let them all come to him, stack them all up, and then the fact that he's been saving on the front end the whole way has meant that he's got enough in reserve to kick off that final bend and hold them all off. This was, like I say, it was an example of a very good rider taking advantage of a perfect scenario tactically for the horse he's riding.
Yeah, and it was a really brave effort at Christmas, wasn't it? Beaten in the race last year by Delta Work. He wasn't always foot perfect ends, was he? But he came up right exactly when it mattered at last. Manila Indo, we now know the gloss has gone off him.
So
slightly.
no, how was he second for the Gold Cup before this? He can't be second for the Gold Cup now, can he? Manila Indo on the back of that. No excuses from at all.
No,
Jumped
not at all.
well,
I mean, but bar the fact that you could say, oh, like he'd have liked a stronger run race, maybe. I mean, like did Kemboy probably paid at Christmas for being taken on by Melon? They softened each other up for A Plus Tard to come and do them late on. So maybe you could say he'd like a stronger gallop to run at, but I don't think there were a huge amount of excuses. And Kemboy, like I say, took advantage of the situation, but was a deserved winner and actually ran out a ready winner in the end.
Yeah, there was that mistake, wasn't there? Manila Indo just saw that again.
It just meant he had to just
Off the
go
ride.
from
He
third to
appeared-
first
That
fifth
completely
gear.
stopped him, didn't it?
Yeah, and
Momentum shift, wasn't it? You know, as in he's come into Kemboy, who's been saving. Kemboy's sort of lengthening into the fence because he hasn't gone hard early, and it's forced a mistake out of Manila Indo, and that's proved crucial.
I'll tell you what, it's given Flooring Porter a bit of a boost, isn't it? In the Stayers Hurdle, the storyteller was second in last time.
The
Gav
storyteller's
Cromwell's
too, I mean,
horse.
to give the form a context, the storyteller's just too close there
Yeah.
to rank that as Gold Cup form for me.
Well,
I just don't think that's...
Kemboy
you
rated
want?
168. Storyteller, we know, is a proper early 160s horse. That's probably what they've done. Delta Work might have been the one who probably didn't like the tactical affair, looking at the way he's finished off. Again, slightly better ground for him. And as Barry said, probably all about the Gold Cup there. But Barry, Manila Indo, if you remember last year's RSA, he looked like he was going to win all the way, didn't quite get home. Is he one of these that's going to trade short in running?
I don't think he just didn't quite get home. I thought when the winner came to him, Champ, he was kind of, he was going to go on with him again. Just the line came in time for Champ. That's the only thing. He traded a low of 1.80 today, Manila Indo. He's 8-1 going into today. He's a 16-1 chance now for the Gold Cup. Kemboy, 10-1 from 14-1 for the Gold Cup. But yeah, I suppose Delta Works and album photo, very disappointing for me in the race. Storyteller, what do you take from that form? I don't know what to read into the form of the race, to be perfectly honest with you. I thought Kemboy, like you said, Enzo said in his commentary, he stole a bit of a march early doors. And I think that's what saw him through at the finish. Those
Flag
5
fall,
or
didn't he,
6
Barry?
lengths that he got at the start.
Flag went up and he went 4 clear.
Was the race won
gone,
at the
yeah.
start? Yeah, very interesting indeed. Well, the Irish Gold Cup has been run. The reason why I keep saying London is because I'm thinking about what the snow's going to be like outside when we go. The snow's coming down. We're stuck here in the catapult, but it's been delighted, I can tell you, that you have been to be with us all this way. And we know you've loved the show. Hopefully we're lifting your spirits through lockdown. What a weekend it has been. Highlight of the weekend, Enzo.
Oh, so many. I'd probably say Monkfish, to be honest. He was electric today. Absolute superstar, wasn't he? I thought he was brilliant.
I'm going to agree with my fellow panellists. Yeah, and Monkfish, like you say, there was a lot to choose from, but there was just something very special about that performance, I thought.
Beautiful performance.
Every now and again, you get one of those where you sort of starts get you feeling a little bit tingly, doesn't
massively,
it? That was it.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, what have we seen?
Barry, we'll be back next Saturday. Hopefully Newbury are on. You've been on absolute fire this weekend. Thanks for joining us.
We will, yeah. We got over the course of the 2 days, we won 1,170 for the Injured Jockeys Fund. We'll round it up to 1,200. So
Brilliant.
I think we'll keep them for the rest of the month, and we'll send them a check hopefully at the end of the month. But they've banked so far £1,200. So happy days. Everyone's a winner.
Happy days. We'll see you next Saturday, Barry. Thank you very much. Cheers, then, Enzo.
Yep, thank you very much.
You'll be back in the run-up to Cheltenham, no doubt.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be back in March. Royal Pagal must be second favourite for the Gold Cup now after that performance.
Do you know what?
He has to be.
I knew you were going to get this in.
Second
I was
favourite.
trying to sign off before he had a chance to say it. But now we've got a clear second favourite for the Gold Cup. Can he beat Albon Futo? You happy with this?
He's only
This is
got one
Willie
to
Mullins.
beat.
He could do no wrong,
No,
can he?
he's the only one he's got to beat. He's the only one I'm worried about, Albon Photo. I'm not worried about anything else.
Posty, double header. A little bit disappointed with third time lucky, but it's been a great weekend, hasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit, but it's been a brilliant weekend all round. Yeah.
Great to have you back in. Great to have you with us. Thanks to the guys in the gallery as well. Keep watching. We'll be back next Saturday. Until then, enjoy what sport that's on.